That's right, clever, Ellie. I don't see how much use that'd be around a farm.
Well, I'll commence learning other things as quick as Mark gets here.
Ellie, does Granny know that Mark gave you that critter?
No, sir, not yet.
Well, I believe I'd keep it that way if I was you. It'd just get her riled.
Well, I think we're safe for a while, Pa. Granny's been sticking real close to the house this morning. Almost like she's expecting somebody.
Hey, Granny, guess who's coming up the driveway?
Shorty Kello's from back home.
Shorty Keller's from back. Hey, how did you know?
I sent for him.
Oh, what for?
Never mind. Where's your Uncle Jed?
He's down by the cement pond.
Good. What about Ellie?
Was she down there, too?
Fine. Now you make yourself scarce, because I want to be alone with Shorty.
Hey, what's going on betwixt you two, huh?
That's for me to know and you to find out. Shorty!
I'm here, Granny. Shorty to the rescue.
I told you to get here as fast as you could. Why didn't you fly?
I did. One downgrade hit pretty near 40 miles an hour.
I meant in the aeroplane.
Oh, no. A fella needs a car out here. I'm still single, you know. I figured to date me a Hollywood cutie.
I ain't got no time for dating. Like I told you on the telephone, I got troubles and I need your... What in blue blazes are you doing with all of them guns?
Well, when you said you had trouble, I figured we'd need shooting iron.
We? You ain't never fired a gun in your life.
I can load for you.
The kind of trouble I got calls for brains, not guns.
I brung them too. What's the problem?
Ellie just fell in love with a frog.
What?
Well, he ain't all... Now, what do you want?
I want to know what you two are supposed... Oh, hey, look at the guns. Hey, are you starting a feud? Is that it? Hey, can I be on your side? Or who we fight?
Leave the guns alone. Just take Shorty's suitcases in the house.
Gee whiz, Granny. I want to know what y'all is doing.
Like I told you, it's for me to know and you to find out.
Granny, must have dust in my ear. It sounded like you said Ellie had fell in love with a frog.
Well, he ain't all frog, just half. He's what you call a naval frogman. From the navel down, he's frog.
You joking?
And that ain't the worst of it. When he gets into the water, he goes all frog.
Does Ellie know?
She don't care. He has thrown some kind of a spell over her.
What about Jed?
Same thing. In fact, the whole family. Are you listening again, big ears?
Yeah, I want to know what you two are talking about.
I done told you twice. That's for me to know and...
Me to find out. But you ain't making it easy.
Never mind. Now, put Shorty in the room next to your Uncle Jed.
Okay. Hey, Shorty, whilst I'm toting you upstairs, I mean, what's going on?
Put him down, you big lummox. I meant put his suitcases in the room.
Oh. Granny, you sure know how to confuse a fella.
Well, in your case, it don't take much. Like I was saying, Shorty, Ellie Mae is getting real serious about that frogman.
You mean they might get married?
Ain't that a frightening thought? That's why I sent for you. You gotta help me stop him.
Why me?
'Cause you're the only one I can turn to. You're from back home. You're a hill man. You got horse sense.
So Jed.
He used to have. Now he's got water on the brain just like the rest of the family.
No.
That frogman has got Jed believing that he can farm the ocean.
Farm the ocean?
Ain't it pitiful? I tell you, everybody but me has gone stark raving.
Well, look who's here. Shorty Kellums, how are you?
Fine, Jed, fine. How's yourself?
Why, I couldn't be better. What brings you out here to California?
Well, Granny called long distance and said...
Invited him out for the holidays.
Yeah, that's it. Said we'd have a white Christmas together.
White Christmas in Beverly Hills?
Ain't you heard? We're gonna have white smog this year.
Well, anyways, glad to have you out here, Shorty. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go talk to Mr. Drysdale about my new project.
What project is that, Jed?
What they call oceanography, Shorty. It's farming the oceans and such.
Well, did I tell you?
You're right, Granny. The man's gone soft in the loft.
Now you can see why I need you.
Yeah. I'll go wash up, and we'll put our heads together.
Fine. Mark!
Hi, Granny. Whose car?
Oh, it belongs to a feller from back in the hills.
Certainly carries an arsenal. I wouldn't want to cross him.
Oh, he wouldn't. What did you say, Mark?
I wouldn't want a fellow that well armed mad at me.
How'd you know?
Know what?
That he was mad at you.
Why would he be mad at me?
You mean Ellie didn't tell you about him?
Told me what?
That they was engaged back in the hills?
No.
Oh, yes. Ellie was promised to him when she first come of marrying age. 12.
Who is he? What's his name?
Kellums. Killer Kellums.
Killer.
Oh, he's the best shot back in the hills. And he's vowed to drop you on sight because you stole his girl.
I'm sure glad he left his guns in the car.
Oh, them is just his outside guns. He's in there waiting for you with his inside guns.
Strange that Ellie never...
Never mind that. Just be glad that I seen you before the killer did. Or he'd put so many holes in you, you'd throw a polka dot shadow.
Forgot my shaving kit, Granny. Howdy. My name's Kellums.
Kellums?
That's right.
Yeah, meet the killer.
I'm Shorty. Glad to meet you, killer.
All right, Mr. Clampett, you've said enough. Now you listen to me, and you listen good. I don't care what Mark Templeton says. I say oceanography is baloney. Farming the ocean is baloney. And you're not taking one red penny out of this bank for any such nonsense. Is that clear, Mr. Clampett?
I thought you were being a tiger all of a sudden.
I am a tiger, and I'm going to stay a tiger. I've decided there's only one way to handle a simple man like Jed Clampett. That's with force, power, authority.
Well, bully for you, but you happen to be wrong about oceanography.
Says who?
Says every thinking scientist and ecologist in the world. Well, we must save our oceans from pollution. Our environment is in terrible danger. The very existence of our planet is at stake.
Is it going to cost money?
Well, of course.
Then it's baloney. And that's what Jed Clampett is going to hear right from the tiger's mouth.
Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale, I know you're busy, and I won't take a minute. I just want to say that I've made up my mind to put a heap of money into the study of oceanography.
Is that your final decision?
Yes, sir, it is.
Beautiful.
What?
I'm with Mr. Clampett 100%.
I thought oceanography was baloney.
You see what I have to contend with right here in my own bank? Miss Hathaway, can't you understand we must save the oceans from pollution? Our environment is in terrible danger. The very existence of this planet is at stake.
Chief, you are not to be believed.
Mr. Clampett, please me. Right, sir?
That's right, I do. And I'm kind of surprised at you, Miss Jane. Generally, you're real smart.
Well, not with this. When it comes to oceanography, she has a blind spot.
Chief, you are the lowest, the most...
Go ahead, revile me. Call me names. But I stand with Mr. Clampett, and so does every thinking scientist and ecologist in the world.
How can you be so completely...
Not another word. Mr. Clampett and I have taken enough abuse from you. Now get out of my office.
Chief.
Out! No, or you'll be fired.
I don't know how much more of this humiliation I can stand. I try so hard to be honest and efficient, and all I get is...
I'm sorry that I had to turn into a tiger like that. But I decided the only way to handle a simple woman like Miss Hathaway is with force, power, authority.
Yeah, but you got her bawling.
Oh, not me, Mr. Clampett. Fear. The fear that you'll withdraw your money from this bank and she'll be out of work.
Well, I don't aim to draw it all out. Maybe just half.
Well, even half would upset her.
Miss Jane, I'm sorry, but I think it's only fair for me to haul off and tell you that I'm going to draw half of my money out of this bank and spend it on oceanography and ecology and such. That seemed to make her real happy.
That was hysteria.
Well, damage is done, so let's go on down to the cashier and get the money.
No, wait. That might push her over the edge emotionally. Let me bring it to you later.
Well, whatever you think is best.
I'll leave it to me.
Well, Chief, your duplicity did not work. Despite all your devious conniving, honesty and virtue have triumphed.
Cashier, make out a certified check for $48 million. Charges at the Clampett account.
Wonderful.
Also, send up 2 Husky guards and a straitjacket.
Chief, who's the straitjacket for? Chief, who's the straitjacket for? Chief, what do you intend to do with the straitjacket?
Hey, Ellie Mae, how you get along with the seal?
Oh, just dandy, Mark. He sure is a bright fella. Real cute, too. I just love his whiskers.
I just met another friend of yours with whiskers.
Who's that?
Fella from back in the hills by the name of Killer Kellums.
Killer?
Well, that's what Granny calls him. He calls himself Shorty.
Shorty Kellums is here?
Yes, his car's out front when it drove up.
Excuse me, Mark. I just gotta say hi to Shorty. He's my darling. Be back directly.
I better take another look at that Shorty. She thinks you're cute. I guess she could feel the same way about him. Maybe she digs whiskers.
All ready for victuals, Granny.
I thought you was gonna shave.
What made you think that?
Well, you came to get your shaving kit out of the car.
I don't keep no razor in there.
What do you keep in there?
Aftershave lotion.
What do you need that for if you don't shave?
Drives the women wild.
Well, you spoiled everything. I had Mark Templeton believing that you was a killer.
I am a killer. Lady killer.
Shorty Kellums.
Hello, Ellie Mae.
Sure is good to see you again.
Don't hug him, Ellie. He thinks he's a lady killer already.
Well, it's just a back-home friendship hug, Granny.
Well, if you want to show him some back-home friendship, give him a kiss.
Kiss?
Yeah, go on, a great big smooch.
Do what your granny says.
Hurry up, Ellie. Mustn't disturb the lovers' reunion.
Lovers?
How about one for the road?
Shorty, you're a rascal.
How about one for the rascal?
They are doing a lot of kissing.
Naturally. Like I told you, them two got engaged years ago.
On the level?
No, back in the hills. Now, you run along and forget about Ellie. Them two will be tying the knot any day now.
She can't marry him. He's too old.
Oh, don't let his looks fool you. Them whiskers hides the face of a boy.
You certainly do.
Now, I'll tell Ellie that you wished her every happiness. So long, Mark.
Can't go without seeing her. I want to know why she never mentioned Mr. Kellums before.
Oh, don't blame her. It was her pa that promised her hand.
When she was 12?
Yeah. Folks was beginning to call her a old maid.
Well, they get married early back in the hills, but couldn't her father have found someone younger and maybe better looking?
Mark, you gotta understand that Jed was poor as a church mouse in them days. Mr. Kellums was wealthy. He offered Jed a mule.
A mule? For his only daughter?
The way Jed felt about it, he wasn't losing a daughter. He was gaining a mule.
What's going on?
Oh, Jed, you're just in time to say goodbye to Mark. He has to rush away.
No, I don't. And I'd like to talk to Mr. Clampett.
He's too busy.
No, I'm not. What do you want to talk about, Mark?
Ellie and the mule?
Ellie and the mule.
You remember that, Jed? Ha! Ellie and the mule, dee-dum-doo. Ellie and the mule, dee-dum-doo. Jed had to plow, and that is how. That's what happened to Ellie and the mule. That's a dandy.
Granny, What are you up to?
The second chorus. Ellie and the mule.
Now, wait a minute. Just settle down.
Granny, I wish you hadn't made me kiss Shorty. That rascal wouldn't turn me loose.
Granny made you kiss him?
No, it was love that done it.
I don't love Shorty. He's just my friend.
Aren't you engaged to marry him?
Marry Shorty? Of course not.
What made you think that, Mark?
Granny told me.
Granny told you?
She said you promised Ellie to Shorty when she was 12 years old.
Granny said that?
Said your father traded you for a mule.
That's terrible.
Where you going, Granny?
You all thrash this out amongst yourselves. I don't want to get mixed up in other folks' problems.
Now, just relax, Miss Hathaway. This won't take long. Now, remember, this is for a noble cause. Money.
Oh, hi, Mr. Drysdale. I was just calling you about the money.
And here it is, Mr. Clampett. A certified check for $48 million. I'm sorry for the delay, but we had a little problem with Miss Hathaway.
What kind of problem?
Well, there's nothing to worry about. I'll see that she gets the best of care.
Care? What's wrong with her?
Now, let me worry about her. You just have a good time spending all this money.
Mr. Drysdale, what happened to Miss Jane?
Well, unfortunately, she got a look at this check. But the doctor says a couple of years in a sanitarium and she'll be just fine.
Sanitarium? Mr. Drysdale, wait a minute. I want to... Miss Jane!
Ah! Don't get too close. It took 2 husky guards and me to get her into that straitjacket.
I think she's trying to tell me something. Let me get that gag out of her mouth.
No. Be glad it's there. When she saw that check, she started screaming, calling you names. Oh, shocking.
I feel terrible.
Oh, forget it. What's one secretary compared to the importance of spending $48 million to grow seaweed?
Miss Jane, I can't let this happen to you. Now watch. You see this old check? And tear it up into little bitsy pieces. Look at her, Mr. Drysdale. She feels better already.
Bless you, my friend. A small loss for oceanography, a giant gain for humanity.
Now, you're going to be all right, Miss Jane. Don't you worry about a thing. You take good care of her, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, I will.
How soon he's fiddled, Granny?
Oh, in about a half hour or so. What in tarnation is that get up for?
Oh, I'm going down to the cement pond and get a look at that Mark Templeton. I ain't never seen a fellow that's half frog.
Well, don't let him get you into the water, or he'll turn you into a frog.
You joshing.
Oh, no, I ain't. And if that happens, there's only 2 ways to turn you back.
What are they?
Take you to Dr. Cleaner, or get you kissed by a pretty girl.
I'll take the pretty girl.
This ain't no joking matter now, Shorty. If that naval frogman gets you into the water, you're a goner.
Oh, stop worrying, Granny. He ain't gonna turn me into no frog.
Well, you see that he don't. I want you the way you are, such as it is.
So, in order to keep Miss Jane from going plumb out of her mind, I tore up the check.
Oh, Paul.
That's a shame.
Oh, well, I haven't changed my mind about oceanography. Quick as she's herself again, we'll work something out.
Good. It's a wonderful cause.
And right interesting, too. Ellie tells me we're going to be using critters like that to help us farm the ocean.
That's right. Excuse me, I'll go slip out of this gear and get dressed.
I'll get dressed, too. Here, Paul, you can play with the seal. If he does good, be sure to reward him with a little piece of fish.
All right, now remember, don't say nothing to Granny about you having that critter.
Oh, I won't, Paul.
All right, fella, let's see what you can do.
You leaving, Ellie?
Oh, yes, sir, Shorty. Gonna get dressed and help Granny with the vittles.
Hi, Jed.
Hi, Shorty.
Where's that there frog feller?
Oh, he's in the dressing room putting his clothes on.
Doggone it. I wanted to get a look at his frog legs and his flippers.
I'm going in. He'll show them to you.
He will?
Sure.
He ain't self-conscious about it, huh?
Not at all.
Hot dog, I ain't never... Oh. What's that thing?
That's a seal.
Well, I declare. I never seen one of them things before.
They don't have them back in the hills. They're the ocean critters.
Cute little rascal. He got whiskers just like me.
Yeah, he does favor you a mite.
Now, I'll see you at Vittles, kid.
All right, Shorty.
Granny, I'll get dressed and help you.
Oh, thank you, darling. Is Shorty down at the cement pond?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. I best go fetch her.
Oh, no, ma'am. Don't go down Cement Pond.
Why not?
Well, it's awful cold down there, and you might freeze. Now, you wait here. I'll be right back.
Her with bare legs, and I might freeze. What kind of foolishness is that? I best go see what's going on.
Where you going, Granny?
Down the cement pond.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Why not?
Well, it's awful hot.
Ellie says it's cold.
Well, it's both. The air's hot and the water's cold.
Jed, what is it that you and Ellie don't want me to see?
Well, you're going to find out sooner or later. You might as well go on down there and get all the screaming and yelling over with.
Is it that bad?
Oh, we don't think so, but it's likely to rouse you.
Land sakes, it's happened. Shorty, I hear you splashing around, but where are you? It's you, all right. You still got your whiskers, but you ain't a frog. What are you?
Well, Granny, go ahead. Let off steam. Get it over with.
Mark Templeton done this, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
How come he ain't a frog?
Well, a frog wouldn't be no help to us farming the ocean.
Farming the ocean?
Yeah, Mark says we're going to use that little fella for a farm animal. He's going to fetch and carry for us.
You aim to make a beast of burden out of him?
I won't hurt him. He likes it. Watch here. That's a good fella. Here you are.
What was that?
Well, every time he does a good job, I give him a piece of raw fish.
Jed, your heart has turned to stone. Get that poor devil out of the water.
Ah, he likes it in there. Come on, let's eat.
Shorty, you got yourself in this mess because you wouldn't listen to... Come over here, I'm talking to you. Oh, what's the use? Your life is ruined, and all you want to do is play ball.
Doggone it!
You're wasting your time, Jethro. That ain't no crystal ball, and you can't see the future in it.
Could if the blasted goldfish would get out of the way.
You've got rocks in your head. I say nobody can read fortunes.
Well, you sure can't. You can't even read the paper very good.
That's lucky for you, I'm a lady.
Wait till my real crystal ball gets here. I'll show you I can predict things, you dumb old turkey brain.
Well, I predict something right now. You're gonna get hit so hard, you're gonna have a 6-foot neck.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on here?
Well, you know that genuine simulated plastic crystal ball I sent for a couple weeks ago? Well, Ellie says that even when that gets here, I won't be able to see the future in it.
There's just one way to find out. Go get it off the hall table.
It come? Hot dog!
Wait, Granny!
Look out, Granny!
Here's us, Granny.
Listen, reckless young'un, stay on your own side of the hall.
You all right, Granny?
Of course I'm all right. Who's that fella sitting at the table with you?
I think you better sit down till your eyeballs stop spinning.
Where was they going in such a hurry? That's the first time Jethro ever run that fast away from the kitchen.
He sent for a fortune teller's crystal ball in the mail, and it came today.
How can Jethro see the future? Most of the time, he ain't sure where he's been.
Well, if one accounts for anything, he's going to see it. in widescreen and color.
Funny thing, though. Here lately, I've had a notion that old Lottie Pulver back home is gonna birth a set of twins.
Huh? Well, the Pulver's been married for 30 years without having a young'un. Even their rabbits don't breed.
I know it's silly, but I even seen what she's gonna name them. Luther and Alice.
Uh-huh. Where'd you see all this, in the bottom of your jug?
It's here! It's here! My genuine plastic simulated crystal ball come from Swami Herman.
Is that the paper from back home, Ellie?
Yes, ma'am. It's the Bug Tussle Times Tribune Journal and World Report.
Well, let me read the headlines. I want to see how many folks come to church last Sunday. Great Holly Waddle dipped my jug. Ain't alive in both my jugs. Hello!
What's that radio? Something you read in the paper?
Well, there's nothing that odd popping in here. Well, even the headlines is just, Lottie Pulver has twins.
First young'uns, boy and girl, to be named Luther and Alice. I know Granny went running off.
Well, I sure don't. What's wrong with the names Luther and Alice?
Tell you, I got the power. There's no other way that I would have known that Lottie was going to have twins 4 days ago. A boy named Luther and a girl named Alice.
Granny, somebody probably told you.
I couldn't have known she was expecting. I ain't had a letter from home in months. I predicted it, right out of the blue.
Well, there must be a reason.
Of course there's a reason. I'm a seer. You know what they say about the seventh daughter of the seventh daughter?
Yeah, but you ain't one.
That's probably why it took so long for the power to show up.
All right, I'm not going to spoil your fun.
What fun? I'm a doctor, not a fortune teller. You give me my bat wings and my newt eggs and my spider webs. I don't want nothing to do with this black magic.
Just forget it.
I can't. It's a gift, a responsibility. I gotta use my future predicting powers for the good of all mankind.
Well, how about starting with me and predict when we's gonna eat lunch? I can't even find that out from this danged old jip.
You're wearing my best bath towel.
I figured it'd help if I wore a turban like Swanee Herman.
And my favorite brooch. Don't you know that them's real diamonds and rubies? Cost 95 cents.
How'd you know, Granny? If they was real, they'd cost at least $3.
I got a vision. I'm seeing the future. It's you, Jethro. You're going on a journey.
Not until you fix me something to eat.
A long journey.
I don't believe in that fortune telling no more.
I see a beautiful girl going with you on the journey.
Although there may be something to it.
Oh, my goodness. I'm getting another one. There's a ship called the Titanic. It's going to hit an iceberg.
It already has.
Oh, what a terrible power to have.
Granny, that happened over 50 years ago.
Well, I got accuracy now. It'll take a while to get speed.
Granny, I don't...
Jethro.
Hold on. I think I'm getting another vision. Yeah, I predict we're going to have a visitor.
You don't say. When?
Soon. Hear that? It's come true. I'll see if I can predict who it's going to be.
You, Mr. Clampett, Granny.
It's Miss Jane.
How do you know?
A voice told me.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
It's you. I was right.
I don't understand.
I've been given the gift of prophecy. I predicted that you'd be you.
Granny thinks she can foresee things. She guessed some woman back home was going to have twins and what their names would be.
I did not guess. It come to me.
Well, then you're a prognosticator.
Save your insults. I didn't ask for this power.
I never believed in fortune telling.
I never believed a chicken come out of an egg neither, till I seen it happen. Wait. I got a prediction for you, Miss Jane. You is gonna be getting a raise from Mr. Drysdale.
Yes, he'll hit the ceiling when I ask for one.
He's gonna hit something else. The jackpot. He's gonna get a lot of money. Oops! I'm seeing another vision.
I think you've seen enough for one day.
This one's about you, Jed. You is gonna settle down with a beautiful lady. She's gonna raise your children and take good care of you.
Okay, Granny, that's all.
Don't stop me while I'm hot. I'm getting another vision. This one's about Ellie. She's gonna have 6. No, 7 young'uns. Oh. Jed, I'm plumb tuckered out. Fetch my jug. After a few jolts, I'll be able to see some more.
Yeah, 2 of everything.
Laugh at me if you want. But all my predictions are coming true, or my name ain't Daisy Moses.
Granny, Alberta Bradshaw's on the phone, long distance. You can get it yonder.
Isn't she the lady from back home you call Big Mouth?
Yeah, I've been having Ellie try to reach her. You'll go get some coffee whilst I tell her about my gift.
Granny, I wouldn't spread this around.
I want everybody in Pikes County to know. That's why I'm telling Elvernie it's a secret.
All right, Granny, but tell her to get somebody to steady the ladder.
The ladder?
Yeah, first thing old Big Mouth does with a secret is climb up on her roof and holler it out. Fiddles ready? I'm hungry enough to eat anything ain't moving.
Park your carcass.
Granny, Ellie says you've been moping around ever since you talked to Big Mouth Bradshaw.
You don't talk to her, you just listen.
What, are you afraid you can't make good on all your fortune telling?
What fortune telling?
Well, all morning you've been foreseeing everything but the end of the world.
What are you talking about? I never believed in that nonsense, and I sure ain't gonna start now.
Maybe you better reload and shoot that one at me again.
Oh, I can't hide it no longer. Elvernie had told me about Lottie Pulver gonna have twins and what they was gonna be named. She called me 3 months ago. I forgot.
Well, I'm sure it's hard to remember one piece of gossip out of the flood of hogwash old Big Mouth pours out.
The worst part is that when I talked to her this morning, I started bragging up a storm about my predicting powers.
I'm sorry, Granny.
You're sorry. By now, old Big Mouth has blabbed it to everybody about what a fool I made of myself.
Yeah, that woman shovels dirt faster than a grave digger.
I can just hear her voice echoing back and forth across the valley.
Granny, I hope you've learned your lesson about fortune telling.
I have. And the next person who mentions it is gonna wish he had walked into a barn full of bobcats instead.
Is Fiddles ready, fellow fortune teller? I've been trying to see something in this crystal ball for so long, my eyes feels permanent crossed. At least I ain't been making predictions willy-nilly like you, Granny.
Boy.
You not only said that I'd be taking a journey, but, let's see, that Ellie Mae was going to be having 7 young'uns, and then there was a prediction for Uncle Jed, and Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane. Well, you was spitting them out like watermelon seeds. What was that noise? Somebody dropped something?
Yeah, my skillet.
Well, at least your eyes are straightened out.
This crystal ball has still got to go. Now it's done give me a headache.
Granny, remember your prediction about me gonna have 7 young'uns?
Ellie, we ain't talking about that no more.
Well, now Granny can be happy again because it's come true.
What?
I'm a mother.
Oh, praise be the patter of little feet about the house. Wait a minute.
Ellie, what are you talking about?
Hey, hold it. Before you all get carried away, will somebody please get me my lunch? Well, forget about the lunch. I gotta take something for this heavy.
They was left on the front porch in a basket. Come and see.
Well, Ellie, somebody must have heard about all your critters, because you sure got you some foundlings.
Oh, no, sir, I think they's hound dogs.
Jed, do you realize what this means?
Yeah, it means now we got pretty near 30 dogs on the place.
No, I'm a seer. I really predicted these, for sure.
You said Ellie was going to have 7 young'uns.
Well, they's young, and there's 7 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I have got powers. I gotta call Miss Jane. Then I'm gonna call Big Mouth Bradshaw and get her to holler a retraction.
Chief, the strangest thing just took place at the Clampetts.
At the Clampetts, what else can you expect?
No, this...
Wait. Now,
found 7 puppies on their front porch.
Miss Hathaway, I just took a tranquilizer to hear that. Do you know what they cost?
Granny predicted them.
10 cents apiece.
Listen, remember I told you Granny predicted those twins and what they'd be named? Now her prediction for Ellie has come true.
Really? Say, that's more than a coincidence. What did you say she predicted for me?
That you would get a lot of money. But I wouldn't count on it. Oh, there have been some examples of successful prognostication. However... Chief?
Works fine, Pa.
Way they're eating, they remind me of 7 little Jethros.
How's my darling little puppies doing? Are they getting enough to eat?
Well, yes'm, Granny. Pa made 'em this here contraption.
Sort of a makeshift mama.
Well, take good care of them. They's proof of my powers.
Did you tell Elverna Bradshaw about him yet, Granny?
No, her line was busy. And I don't have to be a fortune teller to know what she's talking about. Me.
Well, you get through to her. She's got to stop blabbing long enough to put some food in her mouth.
Not Elverna. She stays on the phone and takes her meals what you call intravenously.
Should I try again, Granny?
No, I will. And wait till I tell her about me predicting them little rascals. Her tongue will be sticking out like a pump handle. Better give that little fellow on the end there some more milk.
Why, dassum, Granny. The fellow at the pet shop told me to...
Ellie, you mean you went out to the pet shop to get them pups to leave on the front porch?
Well, I just wanted Granny's predictions to be right.
You're sweet, darling. But now I'm back where I started from. Wrong.
I just wanted to cheer up, huh?
I know, Ellie. Sometimes even the milk of human kindness turns sour.
I'll go and talk to her.
No, I'd wait till the shock wears off. Right now, if Granny's chin was any lower, you could plow with it.
Hey! I'm finally getting a vision in my crystal ball. It looks like Granny.
Yes, Ro.
It talks, too. And kicks, too. Boy, that's realism.
Be a big dodo.
Doggone, I thought I was finally seeing something. I can't make no prediction with this thing.
You're better off. If you ain't made any, you don't have to worry about them coming true.
Well, that don't worry me. If I could just come up with a prediction, I'd make it happen.
Huh?
Who know the difference?
Nobody. But don't you go to fixing no phony fortunes.
Oh, I won't, Granny.
I'm gonna be the only phony fortune fixer in this house. Jeff, wait a minute.
I thought you'd be in bed after the shock of finding out it was Ellie brung them puppies.
I'm pretty near over it.
Good. Then you won't be needing this misery chaser I brung you.
I said pertinent. There's still a thimbleful of shock hanging on.
Well, if you wasn't in shock before you swallowed that, you're gonna be now.
That's the real old stuff. Been aging since yesterday.
Well, anyway, I'm glad to see that you give up fortune telling.
Yes, sir, Jed. No more predicting from me.
Good.
Leastways, not until the ones I just made come true.
Granny.
Well, I only missed 2 of them. I still have a chance with Miss Jane's raise and Mr. Drysdale getting some money, Jethro's journey, and you getting married.
About as much chance as a cricket in a hen house.
You sound just like Elverna Bradshaw. And by now, all of Pikes County. I think I'm an old fool, but you'll see.
I don't think you're an old fool.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You do, too.
I don't either.
Well, then say it.
I don't think you're an old fool.
Oh, so you ain't so sure, huh? Well, I'll show you. Them fortunes I told is gonna come true.
I'm stashing this jug, Granny. I may be needing it.
Why, you never was a drinking man before.
You never was a fortune teller before.
Well, I am now. And every one of my predictions I made is gonna happen. And if they don't, these lips will never touch a jug again. If my plans don't work, I can always do my drinking out of a glass.
There's the fortune teller. You little Nostradamus.
I've heard about your prediction that I'm going to get a lot of money.
It's gonna come true.
Have you any idea when?
Yeah? But first you gotta do me a little favor.
Oh, I'll do anything. Cheat, lie, steal.
Just give Miss Hathaway a raise.
Impossible. Why, she's only been working for me for 10 years.
Come on now, you gotta do it, or your prediction won't come true.
What? I don't know. I never... All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll give her a 50-cent a week raise.
Ain't you being a little over-generous?
Indeed I am. And she'd better not come around 10 years from now hitting me up again.
Well, just so she gets it. 1 prediction down, 3 to go.
Now, about my prediction.
Oh, yeah. I said you was gonna get a lot of money, and Granny is never wrong. Here's $5. That's all I got. 2 down and 2 to go.
This is all I get from the prediction of a lousy $5?
I only guarantee results, not satisfaction.
Granny, I won't take this. I was supposed to get a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Why, back home with $5, you can buy enough land to live off of and enough moonshine to make living worthwhile.
Granny, if you want that prediction to come true, just give me the name of some good common stock.
You mean like pigs?
Business stock, one that's going to go up in price.
Well, how do I do that?
Well, just pick one out of the stock exchange listing. With your ability to see the future, I'll make a killing.
Yeah, and I'm afraid it's going to be me.
What are you two doing eating in the dark?
Oh, this is what you call a squeegee board.
Well, I don't care. You can turn on a light to eat it.
Don't eat it. This pointer spells out the future. It's easier on the eyes than that crystal ball, and a lot faster, too.
Who says? We've been sitting here for 20 minutes now, and yet I ain't moved.
If that's paint on that table, you better move and fast.
I had to use a table, Uncle Jed. This pointer needs a flat, smooth surface.
When Granny sees that paint, she'll put that kind of a finish on the seat of your pants.
But this paint will wash right off.
Jed! Oh, Jed!
Then you better start washing. Granny.
Oh, I thought you was out back. One of my predictions come true.
Well, is that so?
Yeah, Miss Jane, she's gonna get a raise. I gotta go call her.
Well, don't rush off. I want to hear about it.
Well, I talked to Mr. Drysdale, and his prediction is gonna come true. I told him about a business stock to buy, and he says it looks like a dandy.
Well,
Jed, if you want to dance, ask me like a gentleman.
I want to hear about the stock. How's you going to make money on it?
It's simple. You buy it now, and when it goes up in price, you sell it for a profit.
Well, what if instead of going up in price, it goes down?
It can do that?
Well, you tell me.
I better go warn Mr. Drysdale. I don't think he knows.
Well, Granny, wait.
Jed, this is no time for dancing. There's a prediction at stake. Besides, maybe it's because we're on the grass, but your waltzing is sure going downhill.
Paint all over my table. Where's my hickory switches? I'll take the bark off and both of you.
That paint don't come off. I told you to bring the watercolor.
Well, it was watercolor. It's blue, ain't it?
Get on the truck and drive till I get Granny cooled off.
Hey, thanks, Uncle Jed. I'll never forget you for this.
Here they go.
They're taking a little trip.
Why, I'll be... Jed, that's my prophecy. It's come true. I predicted that Jethro and a beautiful girl would be going on a journey.
But you said a long journey. I told him just to drive around till you cool off.
That'll be a long journey, believe me.
Halfway. Congratulate the Wizard of Wall Street.
Also known as the boob of Beverly Drive. Your broker called and told me you had bought 10,000 shares of Dynaspeed Transport Company.
Right. Granny selected it for me. I bought it for 10 cents. I think I'll sell when it gets to be $100 a share.
Did you bother to find out what Dynaspeed Transport manufactures?
No, but Granny hasn't been wrong yet. Now, what do they build? Monorails, rockets, supersonic transports?
Stage coaches. And they haven't made a profit since 1805. In fact, They haven't made anything since 1805. Drysdale's office? Oh, yes, Mr. Rogers. It's your broker. I'm afraid he can't come to the phone now. He's crying. It's what? It is? Well, of course, I'll tell him at once. It's cheap. Dynasty Transport is up 3 points a share. Somebody bought the company for $1.5 million.
Granny was right. I made a fortune. Hello, Mike. Yeah. What sucker would pay $1.5 million for a stagecoach company, eh? J.D. who?
Gee!
No! You don't need to spell it!
I'm glad to get the company, Mr. Goodman. Who knows, with all this smog talk, maybe the stagecoach is due for a comeback. I'll have Mr. Drysdale call you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Jed.
Well, at least now Mr. Drysdale won't suffer on account of your fortune teller.
I'm quitting winners. 3 of my last 4 predictions come true.
Which one didn't?
The one that you was going to settle down with a beautiful lady, and she was going to raise your children and take good care of you.
Looks like that one come true, too. That beautiful lady is a perfect description of you.
You're sweet, Jed. Now, if I could just get Alverny to clear my name with the folks back home.
Well, telephone her and tell her to come in shouting it out.
I already tried. But Minnie on the switchboard at Bug Tussle says she ain't taking no calls since she come down from the roof this morning.
What's the matter? She lose her voice?
No, her foot. She fell off, broke her leg, Ned's collarbone, and 3 jugs of cider that he was selling to the crowd.
Hi, Uncle Jed, sweetie.
In the Sam Hill is that?
That's a girl.
I reckon I could have guessed that. What's this contraption?
Oh, this here is a hand-built, wedge-designed, custom-made rear-engine, turbocharged twin spear. She puts out 600 horsepower at 8,000 RPM.
Well, I'd have never guessed that.
Oh, Uncle Jed, I'd like for you to meet the newest superstar in my stable. A girl whose name is going to be up in lights from coast to coast. A girl whose name is going to be a household word. Miss, what was it again?
Jean Rivers.
That's right.
Oh, well, howdy. I'm proud to meet you, Miss Jean. Is this your, whatever it is?
Oh, no. This belongs to CB.
Who is CB?
That's me, Uncle Jed, sweetie. That's the way I'm known in movie land. CB de Bodine, star maker.
You bought this?
It's great for my Hollywood producer image.
Where's the truck?
When I drive up to premieres in this rascal, folks will know I'm important.
Where's the truck?
My fans will mob me.
Where is the truck?
I swapped it for this.
I'll swap it back.
Well, you see, it weren't exactly an even swap. I owe a small cash balance.
How much?
$18,000.
Swap it back.
Oh, money ain't no problem. You see, I got this here rich fella to back me. He's what you call him, an angel.
Who is he?
You?
Swap it back.
Oh, Uncle Jed. Can't we talk about this after she's gone?
When is she leaving?
Quick as you give me the 18,000.
Swap it back.
Oh, don't ask me to do that.
I ain't asking. I'll get a move on, because we planning a birthday surprise for Granny.
Would you believe I got the car as a birthday present for Granny?
Oh?
I bet if I took her for a ride, she'd fall in love with it.
Jethro, when are you going to learn that honesty is the best policy? Now, if you just come up to me and said straight out, Uncle Jed, could I please trade in the truck for a new car? You'd have had my respect.
Uncle Jed, can I please trade in the truck for a new car?
Now, that's honest.
Do I get the money?
No, but you got my respect.
Where did I go wrong?
Likely when you got out of bed this morning. Take that back where you got it and fetch the truck home.
You know something? You don't deserve to have me for a nephew.
That may well be. But when I see the trouble that other folks got, I grin and bear it.
I'll show you. One of these days, I'm going to be rich and famous. The idol of millions. The biggest man in the business. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run away from home.
Excuse me, Chief. I thought you'd like me to remind you. Today is Granny's birthday.
Oh, bless her heart. Remarkable little woman. I want you to go out and get her a fabulous present. Something really breathtaking and spare no expense.
Wonderful.
And while you're out, get her a little something from me, too.
A little something?
Yeah, and a beautiful card to go with it. You know, something with roses and lace and sentimental poetry like, though your hair is very gray, may you have a merry day. Hey, that's pretty good. Never mind the card, just type that up and I'll sign it.
Right, Chief?
That's chief, as in Indian.
That's cheap, as in skate?
Well, I guess I am being a bit too frugal, but if I could only think of something that Granny would really want.
I can show you just the thing. A few days ago, Granny and I were looking through this catalog, and we came across a picture of a hickory rocking chair, handmade by craftsmen in the Ozarks. Oh, here it is. She absolutely fell in love with it. She must have looked at this page for half an hour.
Yes, I can see how Granny would really like this. Okay, here. Have this framed and give it to her from me.
Well, there she is, Uncle Jed. Hope you're happy.
I'm happier than I was. Where's your girl?
You think a Hollywood superstar is going to be seen driving around an old wreck like this? I might even have to give up my own career as a world-famous Hollywood producer. Come on, Uncle Jed, let's give Granny that little old yellow custom-built job for her birthday. She'll love it.
Granny loves this old truck. She loves these old shoes of hers. Old folks like old things.
Oh. See, she's falling apart.
Well, then you put her back together again.
Come on, Duke. Let's go out and warm our old tired bones in the sun. These cold winter nights is kind of hard on us senior citizens.
Still say Granny'd love that little old yeller bomb.
Boy, I think I know what's best for Granny.
But if you just let me take her for a ride.
I don't want to hear no more about it.
You mean he's going to keep that old broken-down wreck around here forever?
Well, I don't say forever, but as long as she's still working.
On these cold mornings, it takes forever to get her started.
Maybe, but once she gets warmed up, she goes pretty good.
She's an eyesore. She's a disgrace to the family. Come on, Uncle Jed. Let me just push her off a cliff. We'll collect the insurance.
Duke, they's gonna do me in from a $50 double indemnity.
What kind of birthday surprise would that be for Granny?
It'd be a great surprise if you let me give her that little yellow bomb.
Now he wants to blow me up.
Listen, Uncle Jed, let's forget about the insurance. It don't amount to nothing nohow. First, I'll strip her of everything we can sell.
Strip me? So that's why Jed took my shoes.
Then I'll throw what's left on a city dump.
Now I ain't even gonna get a decent burial.
Jethro, I realize she's old and starting to fall apart.
Yeah, that's the truth. One good kick could finish her.
Nope. You ain't gonna kick her to pieces, nor push her off a cliff, nor throw her on a city dump. When the time comes that she can't go no more, we're gonna ship her back to the hills and give her to some poor kids to play with. As long as she can still get the job done, we're gonna keep her.
Oh, shucks.
Now, Jethro, you take a broom and sweep up all them leather scraps.
Give me that broom. I can still get the work done.
Well, how do you like it, Uncle Jed?
Boy, what have you fetched home now?
This here's what you call a dune buggy.
I mean, walking around a car.
Oh, that's a fella.
I'm glad you told me. This time I don't think I could have guessed.
They call him Medicine Man.
You Indian?
Heck no, Indians don't dress like that no more. Just angry young protesters.
What's he angry about?
Everything. You name it, he's mad at it. You see, he's a spokesman for the new generation. A Medicine Man? This here's my Uncle Jed.
Howdy there. How are you? For a spokesman, he don't say much.
That don't mean he's mad at you. He's mad at the establishment.
The what?
Oh, the folks that runs things. He says there's a bunch of spigots.
Spigots?
Yeah. There's a heap of spigotry in this world. But I told him you wasn't like that. You was full of love and kindness and generosity.
Uh-oh. Where is the truck?
I told him money don't mean nothing to you. You's a flower child.
Where is the truck?
I told him there wasn't no generation gap betwixt us.
Where is the truck?
I swapped it for this.
Swap it back.
But I saved you $15,000. This'll only cost you $3.
Swap it back.
The spokesman for the angry young generation can't drive around in no Detroit iron. He's got to have himself a flower car.
Swap it back.
You're commencing to widen the gap.
You do as I tell you.
You're bugging me. You're putting me uptight. You keep on like this, and we's gonna have us a freak out.
There's one freak out already, and you're on the way to making it two.
I'll give you one more chance to relate to my generation. Are you gonna buy me this dune buggy?
No.
Are you gonna buy me this dune buggy for Granny's birthday?
No.
Then I'm gonna drop out.
What does that mean?
That means that young folks like him and me is gonna run this world.
Let me drop out myself.
I'm protesting you. I'm demonstrating you. I'm dissenting you, because your value systems is all wrong. I'm putting you down, Spigot, because you don't tell it like it is.
All right, I'll tell it like it is. You get that truck back here in 15 minutes, or you're gonna eat Granny's birthday cake standing up.
Yes, sir. Come on, soul brother. That old establishment cat means what he said.
We're gonna have a real nice party, everybody. Come on now. It's for you. Okay.
What you doing, Ellie?
Oh, Granny, well, you spoiled our surprise. We thought you was taking your nap.
Nap? I wouldn't close my eyes in this house. I'd wake up on the city dump. Duke and I've been working for the last 3 hours.
But, Granny, this is your birthday.
Don't mention me being a year older. They's ready to scrap me now.
Who?
Well, mostly Jethro. He says I'm an old wreck. And he's all for selling my clothes and pushing me off the cliff stark naked.
Well, I'll find that dear Jethro and I'll turn him every way but loose.
Oh, it's all right, honey. Your pa says as long as I'm able to do my job, he'll spare me. But as soon as I can't go on, he's gonna give me to some poor kids to play with. Come on. Let's get these birthday things out of here.
Granny, I just don't believe Pa'd say a thing like that.
Oh, I heard him, honey. I hear things that'll make your hair curl.
Well, there she is, Uncle Jed. But she's in bad shape, and so am I.
What's your trouble?
I got identity problem. I don't know who I am. I freaked out as a Hollywood producer. I freaked out as a protester. I even freaked out as a freakout. But now I don't know who I am. I can't do my own thing.
Why not?
Because I don't know what it is.
I do. It's eating. We're gonna have a birthday party for Granny. And you can do your own thing till you're full as a tick.
Well, that takes care of me. But that old truck needs some work if it's going to keep running.
Well, that's better than shoving it off a cliff or kicking it to pieces.
It's true, Ellie. Old Duke and me was on our way out to warm our poor old bones in the sun. And when I opened the door, I heard them talking.
Okay, Uncle Jed, it's a deal. I won't push her off a cliff, and I won't strip her and throw her on the junkie. I'll just take her over and have a few new parts put in her.
Ellie, now they's gonna transplant me some new innards. So they can keep me working for another 80 years, I reckon.
I won't let him, Granny.
Don't doze off, Duke. You'll wake up with pussycat parts.
But you want to wait till after Granny's birthday party?
I'd best get the truck running good first, Uncle Jed.
I reckon you're right. Then we can drive Granny down to the butcher shop and she can pick out her own hog. Here's some money.
Hot dog! I can buy the old truck a lot of new parts with this.
Just get what you need. Here's your shoes, Granny.
I don't need them, Jed. I work faster without them. Look at me go.
Well, don't work so hard. It's your birthday.
Oh, no, it ain't. I ain't got a birthday coming up for years.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. I'm young, Jed. I can earn my keep.
You don't have to work for your keep.
I'm working for my life. Life, liver, and the pursuit of happiness.
Now sit down and rest yourself. Quick as Jethro gets back, we're going to drive you down to the butcher shop.
The butcher shop?
Yeah, it was going to be a surprise, but we're going to let you pick out your own hog.
Oh, hello, Billy Mae! Hello!
What's the matter, Granny?
They's gonna transplant me with hog innards.
What are you talking about?
I hear you and Jethro scheming to get me new parts.
Them new parts is for the truck.
Then why are you taking me to the butcher shop?
Well, it's to get you a hog for your birthday. You've been saying you wanted to salt down some side meat, make sausage, and render some fresh lard.
Oh, you had me awful scared. Come on. Let's go get my hog.
Quick as Jethro gets back with the truck, he's out having it fixed up.
Jed, I don't want that truck changed. I love it the way it is.
He ain't going to change a thing. He's just getting a few new parts.
Well, how do you like it, Uncle Jed?
What is it?
It's the truck.
What truck?
Our truck.
What'd you do to it?
Oh, I just put on a few new parts.
Looks like more than a few.
I liked it the way it was.
But I didn't change your part, Granny. Just hop up there on that old bench, and I'll drive you down to the butcher shop.
You ain't driving me no place in this thing. Looks like a circus calliope.
Oh, do these pipes play music?
It plays the sweetest music this side of Indianapolis. Why, under that hood is 442 cubic inches of raw power.
You get this truck back like it was.
But, Granny, this baby's got tack pods, 3/4 cam, and 4 on the floor.
You do as I tell you, there's gonna be one on the ground.
Do I have to, Uncle Jed?
Well, boy, looks to me like it's neither fish nor fowl.
It's foul.
But, Uncle Jed, I done spent a lot of your money.
Well, you better spend a little more and get it fixed right.
Okay.
Can I go with him, Paul?
Might be a good idea, Ellie. Two heads are better than one.
Not when one of them's Jethro.
What in tarnation have you done now?
Ah, I done my own thing, that's what. These here wheels done give me my identity back. I got my superstar back, and I got my self-respect back.
Fine, I'll get the truck back.
Where's my truck?
Forget it, Granny. It's strewed all over the floor out at the garage.
Well, somebody better put it back together again.
Granny, I've had it with that old wreck. It's done tarnished my image for the last time.
You get that truck back here, Melonhead.
Watch it, baby. You don't go putting me down in front of my superstar, you'll put me up tight. And I might throw a sit-in at you. I might even mass demonstrate you.
Where's my hickory stick? Where?
Come on, superstar. Let's split back to the protest meeting.
You take me out to that garage.
Sorry, baby. That would be a violation of my civil rights.
I'm gonna cut across and catch him.
You'll never make it, Granny.
Just watch me.
Hey, doggy, she's doing pretty good. She can just keep that speed till the next Olympics. We got us a mess of gold medals.
Good news, Chief. I think I found something Granny wants even more than a hickory rocker.
Oh, what is it?
A nice big hog.
How much do they cost?
About $100.
$100? Is that your idea of good news?
Oh, well, it's what she wants for her birthday.
You think she'd settle for a picture of a hog?
No.
You think she'd settle for a pig?
Well, she might if it were big enough.
She's got it. I'll gift wrap this and take it to her.
Chief, that is an out-and-out advertisement. You get them by the gross for 12 cents apiece. Why don't you just give her one of your bank calendars?
How much do they cost?
10 cents.
A calendar it is. I'll give her this for Christmas.
Chief, you make Ebenezer Scrooge look like Santa Claus. Now, you are going shopping, and you are going to buy Granny a decent present, and you are going to pay for it, and you are going to give it to her, and you are going to smile when you do it. Now, what do you say to that?
Ha! Humbug! Well, here we is, back at the Citadel of the Decadent Rich.
Howdy, Father Emmett.
Hey, me.
My name's Hydrangea now. I'm a flower child.
Is the kitchen free? There's 30 or 40 more coming over for a happening.
In the kitchen?
That's where it's at, baby.
Jethro wants to have a eat-in.
I might have known.
Come on, group.
Hold it. The only happening that's happening around here today is Granny's birthday party.
Do we get victuals, or do we commence yelling police brutality?
You keep this up and... What in the blue blazes?
Chief, listen to me. You are making a mistake.
What do you mean? You said Granny wanted a hog.
But when she said dress, she didn't mean like that.
So the clothes came off the rack. If you think I'm going to have an outfit tailor-made for a hog.
Hey, Dale, Miss Jane, what you got there?
Well, it's a little birthday present for Granny, and just the way she wants it, all dressed.
Angela, I know you're a city feller, but dressing a hog is a lot different than dressing a person.
You can say that again. It took me a half an hour to get his pants on.
He is rather a strange sight, isn't he, Mr. Clampett?
Well, not compared to some I've seen today.
Well, ain't he cute? Where'd you get him, Mr. Drysdale?
I foreclosed. I fortunately found a farmer who had a hog to sell.
He's a birthday present for Granny.
Ellie, why don't you take this porker around back and feed him and take care of him?
I sure will, Pa. You know something? I like hogs better than hippies.
Hey, where's my flower chick going with that fat drunk? Drunk? He's having a bad trip, man. He's crawling on all fours. He's a hog. I bet he is. If he sits in the kitchen, he'll wipe out our eat-in.
What's this?
My new wheels.
Where's the truck?
Well, last time I saw it, Granny was trying to talk four mechanics into putting it back together again.
Well, it looks like she done it, 'cause yonder it come.
Well, there's nobody driving.
Reckon that old thing knows its way home by itself? Granny, you got it back together.
Well, the mechanics done it. I just persuaded them.
Good.
All it took was a little sweet talk and a club about that long.
Why did you have to push it?
Ran out of gas. Jethro drained the tank for that thing of his.
Granny, do you have to park this old clunker next to my groovy new rod?
Watch it, boy.
Why do you keep clinging to this broken-down old symbol of your backward generation? Us new breed of cats is ready to go to the moon.
Well, here comes your liftoff. It's a better car than that old pipe organ that he's got.
Are you comparing this bucket of bolts to my fuel-injected, custom-built bomb?
Yes, I am.
How would you like to drag me?
Fine. I'd like to drag you through 2 miles of berry bushes.
I mean race.
You're on, Buster.
You can't race him. You ain't even got gas.
I got something better. There, that ought to do it.
Granny, this ain't no way to spend your birthday, racing with Jethro.
I can't think of no better present that I'd rather have than to beat the pants off of that blowhard boy in his fancy hot rod.
Granny, Jethro, I have made arrangements for the use of the racecourse facilities at Whiteman Stadium in the Valley.
I'm ready.
Me too.
I hereby volunteer my services as official starter.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, start your engines. What's the matter, Granny?
I killed my engine. Come on, old timer, catch him for me, and I'll take you to Indianapolis for the big one.
Can I have the truck back?
No, you can't.
Oh, please, Granny, I'll do anything.
Well, be a good boy. Do your chores. Respect your elders. Behave in general. And I'll let you work in my pit crew at the next Indianapolis 500.
Oh, thank you, Granny, thank you.
Yeah, let's have no more nonsense about that generation gap.
Oh, I promise, Granny, I promise.
That's the stuff that'll crow them lazy youngsters out of bed. It's pert near daylight.
Hey, what's all the racket?
It's time to go to work, lazy bones.
But, Granny, it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Better late than never.
I'm a big city boy now. Nothing can get me out at this hour.
You want breakfast?
I'm ready, Granny.
For a city boy, you move pretty good. Your Uncle Jed's already at the table.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Ellie Mae! Oh, you're up.
Yes, ma'am. But I sure am sleepy.
You young'uns wouldn't have this trouble if you went to bed at a decent hour.
Well, I went to bed at 9 o'clock.
There you are. Now, take your rooster and put 'em out. Have some breakfast, and then we'll go down and get the Clampett Enterprises ready for business.
Granny, the bank building won't even be open. Folks in Beverly Hills don't get up this early. Well,
They don't, huh? You know who that is at the door?
Who?
Mr. Drysdale. He's riding into town with us.
At 5 o'clock in the morning?
He didn't stay up half the night like you did. He knows this is the best part of the day. It's the early bird that catches the worm. So, he's up, ready to go, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Mr. Drysdale.
Where am I? What happened? Granny, you called me. What's the trouble?
No trouble. We need you to open up the bank building so we can go to work.
It's 5 o'clock. The stars are out. The moon is shining.
It does make you feel good, don't it? Jed always says up at 5, you're sure to thrive. Wait till 6, you're in a fix. What kind of a day is it going to be?
Rotten.
I best go check the weather signs.
Well, doggy, Mr. Drysdale. Why, you're the first city fella I ever seen with gumption enough to get going before sunup.
Well, I always say up at 5, you're sure to thrive. Wait till 6, you're in a fix.
That's what I always say.
We're kindred spirits, Mr. Clampett.
You're wrong, Mr. Drysdale. It's going to be a fine day.
Good.
Have you had your breakfast?
Granny, you know he's had breakfast. Well, this man keeps country hours.
How about some coffee?
Well, fine. I'd love it.
You still got on your night clothes.
What? Oh! You see, I didn't want to turn on the lights and wake my wife.
I reckon you beat her up regular.
No, but it's a great idea. Oh, you mean get up ahead of her. Well, let's go have that coffee.
You go right ahead. We'll be right with you.
Oh, thank you.
Jed, guess who I seen dragging up the driveway just now?
Who?
Old Duke. He's been out all night again.
That old hound dog has got a lot of tomcat in him.
Shame on you, Duke. Carrying on like this at your age. It's going to catch up with you.
Looks like it already had.
Well, I'll be switched.
By doggies, Duke, you can't deny that, young'un. Ain't they look-alike?
They sure are. But how do you reckon that old Duke found himself a girl bloodhound here in Beverly Hills?
Granny, that's when a boy bloodhound does his best tracking.
I wouldn't exactly call old Duke a boy.
Maybe not, but we can stop calling him old.
Jed, look a-comin'. fetched home his wife and the rest of the young'uns.
Well, I'm mighty glad to see it ain't a broken home.
Now, Duke, you make your family comfortable. We've got to get down to the bank building and get ready for business.
Yeah, I reckon Mr. Drysdale's raring to go.
Chief!
What?
It's only 8:30. What are you doing here at this hour?
This hour? I've been here since 5:30.
How come?
I'd open up so the Clampetts could go to work.
At 5:30?
Yes, from now on, they want to open up at 5.
You're wearing pajamas.
Oh. I was so sleepy I forgot to change. Oh, I've got a suit in here.
Please put it on immediately. If someone came in here, do you realize what they would think?
What would they think?
Well, they think that perhaps you hired me for reasons other than my secretarial ability.
As a matter of fact, I did. Yes, you were cheap. You were living there for a minute, weren't you?
Just for that, I hope the Clampetts stay in the 5th floor for a year and get you up at 5 every morning.
I'm getting rid of them today. I'm bringing in a hired gun.
Gee.
No. He's just a troubleshooter, but he's the best. Cunning, cruel, ruthless, unprincipled, conniving. Oh, a beautiful man. Oh, by the way, his name is Homer Bedloe.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bedloe.
How did you know my name?
Well, you fit Mr. Drysdale's description perfectly. Sit down. You and Mr. Drysdale friends?
I don't have any friends. I hope Mr. Drysdale will find my work pleasing. I'd like to give up my job on the railroad and stay on here. A bank offers wonderful opportunities.
That's true.
You get to foreclose on mortgages, repossess cars and furniture. I'll bet it's a great kick to go and get a television set just when the kids are watching their favorite show.
May I ask what you're looking for?
Snipers. Booby traps.
Oh, surely you don't suspect
Well, it's a force of habit. I didn't get to be this old and mean by being careless.
Bedloe?
Right. And you're Milburn Drysdale.
That's right.
I'd have known you anywhere. You're the spitting image of your father.
You knew Dad?
Worshipped your father. He was the meanest man I ever knew.
Oh, Dad would have loved hearing you say that.
Excuse me, Chief. Your father would have loved being called mean?
But you never met the old gentleman, did you?
No, he was gone when I started working here.
Well, I'll see if I can find a picture of him.
You know, my first job was working as an office boy for your father.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised he ever let you get away. You and Dad must have been two of a kind.
Well, of course, that was 50 years ago. I was a dumb kid, had no sense of values. I goofed, and he fired me.
What did you do?
He was flogging a debtor, and I went to her defense.
Her defense? He was striking a woman?
That was the wonderful thing about Mr. Drysdale's father. He never discriminated.
Ah! Here we are. I thought I had a picture of him around. That's my dad.
What a man. It was a privilege to have worked for him. You know, I was with him the day he foreclosed on the old soldier's home.
Really? Gee, I envy you.
He had a pile of canes and trusses and ear trumpets as high as that desk. Cleaned them out.
There were giants in those days. Now remember, if the Clampetts happen to see us together, I caught you snooping around the 5th floor here.
Right.
Now, this is Granny.
Oh, she's a dentist, huh?
Dentist, doctor, surgeon, barber, obstetrician, you name it, she does it.
Doesn't look like an educated woman.
Never went to school in her life. But she did all these things back in the hills, so she figures she can do them here. Now, this is Mr. Clampett, my largest depositor.
Looks like a nice fellow.
Yes, he is. Strange, too. Growing up, he had everything going for him. Poverty, ignorance, hunger. He could have been rotten to the core.
Turned out nice, huh?
Yes. Somewhere along the line, he went wrong.
Maybe he had a happy childhood.
That can warp a man.
Thank goodness I had your father to teach me the 3 R's. Rookin', robbin', and repossessing.
There's Mr. Clampett. heard me, Bedlow. I said Jed Clampett is my friend, and you leave him alone. And stop bothering Granny and all the Clampetts. Now get out of this building before I flatten you.
Strike a man with glasses, you can go to jail.
I'd go to prison for Jed Clampett. I'd hang for Jed Clampett. I'd face a firing squad for Jed Clampett. But Jed Clampett is a prince among men. He is my friend.
Mr. Drysdale.
Stay out of this, fella. Oh, Mr. Clampett. Gee, I hope you didn't hear what I said.
Well, yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm so ashamed I lost my temper. But I mean it, Bedlow. You get out of this building and stop bothering the Clampetts.
Well, he ain't bothering us.
I headed him off. Now get out of here. And don't come back.
You haven't seen the last of me, Drysdale. I've got City Hall on my side.
And the Clampetts have me on their side.
I want these people out of this building.
Over my dead body.
Where's that fella want us out of the building?
Oh, he's just one of those officious meddlers. He claims that Granny doesn't have a medical school diploma or even a license to practice medicine.
As a matter of fact, I don't believe she does.
You know, he even had the nerve to ask me if you belong to the Teeth Whittlers Union or the Harness Menders Guild.
Oh, I never knew there was such thing.
Well, just ignore him. He's nothing but a nitpicker, a busybody.
Well, and I best not put up Jethro's picture and sign.
Don't tell me he's going to be an agent again.
Oh, he ain't aiming that high. He's lowered his sights considerable. He's going to be just a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist?
Boy claims he looked up the spelling.
Also, fish clean.
Well, that was my idea. Jethro's uncommon good at it. And seems to me the two just kind of goes together.
Psychiatry and fish cleaning?
Yeah, he says that psychiatry is just listening to the folks talk. And he can sure skin a catfish while he's doing that. I best leave it down.
No. Put it up. No one's going to push my friends around.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, I was just coming down to your office to get you. Let's go try on this upper plate that Jed whittled for you.
Granny, I'm awfully busy.
That's true, Granny. This man's been fighting our battles for us.
What battles?
There's some fella from City Hall here threatening to turn us out of the building.
How come?
Well, for one thing, he claims you don't have the proper medical education.
Me? That learned doctrine from John Hopkins?
You studied medicine at John Hopkins?
I can vouch for that. Granny rode a mule all the way to Timbo, Arkansas, just to study with John and Elvira Hopkins.
John and Elvira Hopkins.
Probably the greatest husband and wife yarb doctoring team in the history of medicine.
How long you study with them, Granny?
Oh, I took the full course. Then I done what they call postgraduate work. All in all, I was there pretty near 2 weeks.
Well, unfortunately, I'm afraid that won't impress the authorities here in California.
I'm in trouble, too, Granny, because I don't belong to something called the Teeth Whittlers Union or the Harness Menders Guild.
How about Jethro? Is there a psychiatrist union, too?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Couldn't we just let the boy clean fish?
Well, no, that's where we're really in trouble. The International Brotherhood of Fish Cleaners. But don't you people worry. I've thrown myself between you and the enemy. I shall not pass.
Mr. Drysdale, you can't buck the whole state of California single-handed.
Then I'll go down fighting. From the halls of Sacramento to the shores of old L.A. I will fight my Clampett's battles and protect them night and day.
Hi, doggies, Granny. I never realized Mr. Drysdale was such a scrapper.
He's got to have some Tennessee blood in him, Jim.
Look, Mr. Bedlow, I found another picture of Mr. Drysdale's father in the storage vault.
My hero.
He looks positively vicious.
Yeah, great guy.
The bureaucratic meddlers, I will shield them with my might. And if I should fall, there'll be a new star in heaven tonight.
I've got a great scheme to get rid of the Clampetts.
Don't you dare!
What? Well, that's what you hired me for. We're in this together.
Me? I won't betray a friend.
Good for you, Chief.
Oh, Dad, forgive me. I had a nice thought. I didn't mean it. Don't beat me, please.
Chief, your father can't beat you. He's dead and gone.
Oh, no, not Dad.
If he couldn't take it with him, he didn't go.
Well, you're thinking straight now.
But why can't I be the man my dad was? He was perfect. Mean all the time.
Chief, I can't believe your father was such an ogre. They wouldn't have let him join the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks.
That's not an elk's tooth, it's a man's tooth.
What?
The fellow owed Dad money. He couldn't pay. With his bare hands, my father yanked it from his mouth, melted the gold out of it, and mounted the tooth on his chain.
Now that you've come to your senses, we can put my scheme into action.
Is it a scheme my dad would have liked?
I call it Operation Rotten.
Great. Now get up and win this one for the old jipper.
Hold on just a minute. You're in this too. You've got a part to play.
I have?
Sure. I'm the bad guy and you're the good guy. You got a white hat?
Well, I can get one.
Good. Now, my scheme is I'll go up to the Clampetts and give... Is she to be trusted?
No. He's honest, kind, and generous.
Please don't use that kind of language in front of your father.
Yeah, well, tell me about it here.
Right.
Oh, put Dad's picture up. It'll serve as an inspiration for me. A shrine.
How about some fresh flowers in front of it?
That's a good idea. See if you can get some deadly nightshade and hemlock.
Those were his favorites.
You're a dirty, rotten old man.
Hi there, Mr. Cratchit.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Ellie?
Did Dr. Granny's poultice grow you some new hair?
Oh, well, I don't know yet. I haven't looked yet.
Well, let's go have her check it.
Oh, I brought along a photograph of myself the way I looked without hair. I thought the doctor would like a before and after picture.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I see your psychiatrist does that.
What do you mean?
Well, isn't that a picture of a patient before treatment?
No, sir, that's the psychiatrist.
Well, I always say it takes one to know one.
Well, Mr. Cratchit, how's Granny's hair poultice working?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Well, come on over, sit down, and we'll have the unveiling.
Yes. Ma'am.
How long has the poultice been on?
Oh, a week. And I'm sure glad to get it off because everybody's been laughing at me.
Well, they ain't gonna laugh no more.
Is that hair?
It ain't more.
Becoming red.
Really? I had red hair when I was a boy. They used to call me Brick.
Take a look.
It's true. I'm young. I'm handsome.
You sure enough are.
It'll look much better when I pomade it and comb it.
No, I like it this way. Wild and untamed. It's the real me.
Here, behave yourself.
Mothers, hide your daughters. Brick Cratchit. It lives and is on the loose in Beverly Hills.
Really, honey? Run fetch Jethro. I think this fella needs psychiatry.
Wait a minute, Blondie. Let's go out tonight and live it up.
Jed, I think he left the poultice on too long. It's drawn up some ideas along with his hair.
He can handle the hair all right, but I ain't so sure about the idea.
Ellie says this little fella needs a head shrinker.
Oh, don't shrink his head. His new hair won't fit him.
Come on, I'll cure you.
I don't want to be cured. Come over here, Blondie.
Now, behave yourself.
Oh, watch it, fellas. I'm a redhead and I've got a terrible temper.
Now, give me a couple of minutes to terrorize them, and then you come to the rescue. Right.
I wish Mr. Drysdale would send up the rest of his employees.
Well, don't worry, Granny. Quick as folks see how you poulticed hair on Mr. Cratchit, they'll come in bunches.
Well, whilst we're waiting, sit down and I'll give you Marcel.
All right, everybody out.
What?
You heard me. Clear out and take all this junk with you.
Junk! wrong.
Now, see here, mister.
Don't you touch me. I've got a writ.
Well, no wonder you're feeling so mean. Come on, sit down and I'll lance it for you.
I'm talking about a legal writ ordering you to vacate these premises. And I'm going to serve it on you right now.
Hold it right there, Bedlow.
Drysdale.
You craven coward, threatening a couple of helpless women. Come out and fight like a man.
Don't cross me, Drysdale. I've got a legal writ right here. Mess with me, and I'll serve it on you.
Come ahead. I've got a writ stopping your writ. We'll see who serves who.
Are you calling me out, Drysdale?
I'm calling you out, Bedlow.
You fool! You haven't got a chance. You're a banker, and I'm a professional writ server.
Truth, honor, and justice will speed my hand, and my strength will be that of 10. For my heart is pure.
What's going on?
They's fixing to draw down on one another, Jed. Yeah, they both got legal writs.
I serve you first. You're wiped out, Drysdale. You lose your bank, your home, everything.
I'll gladly pay that price to save my friends, the Clampetts.
No, I can't let you do this. Mr. Drysdale, if this fella wants us to get out of the building, we'll... Jethro, how long you reckon it'll take us to get back to Silver Dollar City?
I figure about 4 or 5 days of hard driving.
We gotta get there quicker than that.
Yeah, the festival's fun Saturday.
Just getting over the Rockies will take 2 days in this thing.
Here, pour some of this in the gas tank.
Whoa, boy, hold on now. Granny, is that Mountain Dew?
Yeah. And it do get you over the mountain.
Do melt the engine, too.
Jed, we don't want to miss the festival. Everybody and his dog will be at Silver Dollar City come Saturday.
We'll make it.
Is Aunt Pearl gonna meet us there?
How about that, boy? You heard from your ma?
No. But maybe there's a letter in this morning's mail.
I'll go to the box and see.
Hey, wait a minute, Ellie, that's my letter.
It sure will be nice to see Cousin Pearl again. And all the rest of the folks back home. Jim Owen, Mitch Ford, the Hershans.
I hear tell Pete Hershan had a baby.
Way I hear it, it was his wife. I guess that is pretty old, ain't it?
That's older than both of us.
I sure hope Jimmy Driftwood comes up from Timbo.
Me too, Granny. I love to hear that rascal play the mouthbow.
I bet they have a square dance that'll shake the hills.
With old Chick Allen and the Bald Knobbers playing the music.
Swing your quick, we run along. Swing your quick, we run the hall.
Uncle Jed!
Oh, Granny!
Look what I got.
From your ma?
No, from the president.
President of what?
The president of the whole country.
You got a letter from Jeff Davis?
Randy, I keep telling you, he ain't the president.
I don't get into that scrap. Let me see, boy. My doggy says right, Granny. It says, the President of the United States to Jethro Bodine, greetings.
What does he want with Jethro?
He wants me to join the armed forces and fight for my country.
Can I join too, Paul?
Well, he didn't invite you, he just invited me.
Well, I can fight better than you.
You can neither.
I can too.
Can.
That's enough of that. According to this, Jethro, you ain't got but a few days to report.
Yeah, next Friday.
Well, you'll be driving us to the festival next Friday. Now, you go in there, call the president, and tell him you're too busy.
Now, wait. If he was kind enough to send greetings and a personal invite, the boy ought to show up on time.
Well, how are we gonna get to Silver Dollar City?
I'll call Miss Jane, have her put you and Ellie on an airplane.
Why aren't you coming, Pa?
I think I'd best stay and see Jethro gets into the Army proper.
You mean Ellie and me ain't gonna have no men folks to protect us?
You don't need no protection.
Jed, have you forgot what kind of men come up from them hollers at festival time? Why, even a woman at my age ain't safe from them bold rascals. Why, they's liable to grab me and kiss me and... Let's go call Miss Jane. She's likely to want to go with us.
Jethro is joining the Army?
Well, he's received his induction notice.
Well, don't worry. I've got some friends in the draft board. I'll call and use my influence. I'll make sure they take him.
In the first place, Jethro is anxious to serve his country. He's just trying to decide which branch of the service to apply for.
I was in the Quartermaster Corps myself. Made sergeant. Ran a little lending service on the side.
You never saw combat, did you?
Me? I went through some of the bloodiest fighting of the war. Got shot at a dozen times.
But you never went overseas.
When you lend money to soldiers at 40%, you don't have to. Mr. Clampett.
Howdy. Miss Jane, I put the women folks and the suitcases in your car. I sure do appreciate this.
My pleasure, Mr. Clampett.
Are you going back to the hills with them?
Well, they did invite me, but it's really up to Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, I'd love for her to go, but it would cost me $300 a week to replace her.
$300?
Is it my fault you do the work of 4 women?
Certainly is. Mr. Clampett, are you coming to the airport with us?
Well, no, thank you. I got to talk money with Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, yes. Well, you run along. Well, going to deposit a little money, eh?
No, I'm going to draw some out.
Oh, it's a beautiful drive to the airport, Mr. Clampett.
I know it is, but I need some money for Jethro.
Oh, I see. A little pocket money for the soldier boy. Well, I'll take care of that. Now, let's see. His allowance is 50 cents a week, right?
That's right, but
And you want to give him a raise, reward him for his patriotism. That's a good idea. Let's show him how proud we are of him. We'll give him 60 cents a week.
what I had in mind...
Now, don't overdo it. After all, the government pays his expenses and gives him a handsome salary besides.
Yeah, I heard tell it costs the government $35,000 or $40,000 to train and equip each boy.
Right. Of course, in Jethro's case, it'll cost more. They have to feed him.
Reckon $50,000 to cover it?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, that's what I want to draw out. Look, you told me that the government up in Washington was hurting for money and deep in debt.
Yes, but...
Well, I can't let the government pay for Jethro when I got all them millions just laying here in your bank.
But you just... people... Oh, you just can't.
Kid! Well, that's Jethro back from the studio. He went over there to look at all the different uniforms. In here, boy. He figured that'd help him decide which branch of the service to join.
How do you like it?
Dandy iron hat. You get you cornered, you can butt your way out.
Jethro, that's the uniform of a Prussian field marshal.
Hot dog!
If you show up at the induction center wearing that, they'll think... I like it. It's great. Now go right over it. And when you walk in, give it this. Tell them Bismarck sent you.
I ain't decided on this one for sure. I got a whole bunch of other uniforms.
Well, let's see him, boy.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, you wait right here now.
Jethro, my boy. Now that is you. Oh, they'll love you at the induction center. And when you get to the psychiatrist, pose like this.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drysdale.
Hey, wait a minute. I got another one I like even better than this one.
And doggy, look at them pistols.
Ain't they something? Well, this is the kind of uniform old Blood and Guts wore. Who? General Patton. He's my hero. A fighting fool. Rode around in a great big old tank.
How you like it, Mr. Drysdale?
Fine, fine. They'll put him right in Section 8.
Is that good?
A lot of men try for it.
Dandy. Looks like you're all set, boy.
Oh, no, not until I get my tank.
Oh, that's right. You better make that 100,000. I said I ain't gonna let the government pay Jethro's bill. Now, go get yourself the best tank money can buy.
Hey, what's he crying about?
Sorry to see you go, I reckon. You in there, boy?
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Just a minute, I'll come out through the turret.
Small, ain't it? Looks like you got the run of the litter.
No. I think I'd start with this one. Then when I got the hang of handling the tank, give me one of them great big rascals.
Pretty fair-sized weapon on this little tank. Like a dandy goose gun.
Yeah, that rascal. Really reach out and bring him down.
What do you shoot in it?
Well, I couldn't buy no shells, but I got a hold of some blasting powder. Figure I'd muzzle load her and tamp in some rocks.
Don't shoot it around the neighborhood. These city folks is even jumpy about my squirrel gun.
Us tank generals drives mostly through fields and woods and stuff.
I'd stay out of downtown Beverly Hills if I was you.
Yes, sir. Figure the best woods is up in Griffith Park.
Ain't that where you played Robin Hood?
Yes, sir. But I done outgrow that kind of stuff.
Well, you got until Friday to practice driving and shooting.
Well, I sure could use some help in there. Hey, how about you being my crew?
I don't know nothing about them gadgets, boy.
Well, you could be a Prussian field marshal. I got the uniforms right there in the tank.
Oh, thanks. I'll call Mr. Drysdale. Maybe he can help you find a crew.
Okay.
I'm going to be Jethro's tank crew?
That's right.
That's why you asked me to wear my birdwatcher's uniform.
Exactly. You're going to watch the cuckoo. Besides, it's very hot in those tanks. You'll be more comfortable this way.
Gee, you can't ask me to do this.
Who's asking?
I refuse to ride through Beverly Hills in a tank.
Don't worry, you won't have to.
Oh, thank goodness.
The minute you leave the driveway, you'll be arrested.
Arrested?
Yes, the police will be there. I tipped them all.
Jethro and I will go to jail.
Only for a couple of hours, and I'll bail you out and be a big hero with the Clampett.
Chief, I don't want to go to jail, not even for 2 hours.
Oh, don't worry. You can make it up tonight.
You are all think.
Listen, I want that $100,000 back. Imagine wanting to save the government money. Why, it's un-American. Look at that nut.
Have a heart. If the Army finds out that Jethro is idiotic enough to impersonate a general, then they'll never take him.
Right. Now go report to your commanding officer.
Tank crew reporting for duty, sir.
Well, Miss Jane, you're a woman.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing that's been said to me all day.
What's the problem here? You having trouble with this soldier? You can be shot for disobeying a general.
It ain't that. I can't have a woman in my tank. You want people to think I'm a nut?
Certainly not.
Then you be my crew.
But I'm not in uniform.
There's plenty of uniforms in the tank. You can be a Prussian field marshal. Now, come on, hop in.
I'm not going.
Are you disobeying a general?
Okay. It's just a short trip.
That's what you think. We's going to Griffith Park.
Oh, sure. Just make a right turn as you go through the gate.
We ain't going through the gate. We's going out the back way and cut across country.
Jethro, I mean General.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. You and the field marshal have a nice trip.
Well, see, Jethro got himself a crew.
Yes, Mr. Drysdale volunteered.
Oh, I'm awful glad. He didn't seem too happy about this at first, but I reckon that...
Look! He's backing towards the garden wall, and there's no gate. Oh!
There is now. Odd little machine, ain't it?
Yes.
Hello? Yes, ma'am. This is Jed Clampett. Long distance? Pearl, how are you? Did Granny and Ella May get there all right?
Yeah, Cousin Jed, the three of us is just fixing to leave for the festival. I sure wish you and Jethro was here.
Me too, Pearl, but I reckon Granny told you about Jethro.
Yeah. She says Jethro's been offered a job by the government. No, she didn't say what kind of job. But... Just a minute, Jed. Verna Bradshaw, you get off this line. I know you're there, I hear you breathing. And I ain't gonna have you blabbing to everybody in these hills who I'm a-talking to, so hang up. After all, what I got to say to my rich cousin Jed in California, who lives in a mansion in Beverly Hills and has $70 million in the bank and just got back from his castle in England where he's known as the Earl of Clampett, is none of your business.
Well, now, Pearl, getting back to Jethro.
Oh, yeah, Jed. I want to hear all about that fine government job my big, handsome son with the 6th grade Beverly Hills education is going to... Verna Bradshaw, that is the rudest thing I ever heard tell of.
What'd you do, Pearl?
She hung up.
Pearl, the men is streaming by your house on the way to the festival.
I'm talking to Cousin Jade on the telephone.
Oh, Pearl, they're coming up out of the holler by droves. Big, old, good-looking rascals.
Really? You want to say hello?
Hello? Hello, I'm here.
Granny, I mean to Cousin Jed on the telephone.
Hello, Cousin Jane.
Granny, you come over here.
Oh, all right. Ellie! You go out on the porch and slow them down. Now smile real pretty. Try and break their stride. They's walking too fast.
Yes, honey, your pa's on the phone. Say howdy to him.
Oh, yes, my Pearl. Oh, here comes that good-looking Walter McKeegan. Walter!
Granny, you stay away from Walter McKeegan. He's mine.
Howdy, Pa.
Howdy, Ellie. Sounds like Granny and Pearl's after the same fella.
Yes, sir. They's fighting out front. I best go help the loser.
Who's losing?
Mr. McKeegan.
All right, honey, you all have a good time now and tell Pearl not to worry about Jethro. He's doing just fine.
Come on. Let's get a breath of fresh air, and then we'll have target practice. Ah! Watch that, Von Hindenburg.
Sorry, General.
You haven't got a shell in this gun, have you? No. Thank goodness. I wouldn't want to be in here.
Hey, Von Hindenburg, come back here.
Forget it!
Are you deserting under fire?
You bet!
You can't get away from me. I can follow you anywhere in my tank.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see you follow me across the lake.
I'll get you for this, you Prussian dog.
Yep, sure enough, there they are. Tank tracks, heading right off into the woods.
Now, hold it, Fred. This is just the kind of thing that got you and Tony split up. These wild reports from Griffith Park, like seeing Robin Hood.
But we saw him, Charlie, I swear it.
Just like you see these tank tracks, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that could be a bulldozer. They're cutting fire roads all over here.
But the park ranger said he saw the tank.
Get me that clown on the horn. I'll talk to him. You know, they shouldn't leave those fellas alone up in those towers for so long. It gets to them.
Okay, Charlie, you're patched into the ranger.
Thanks. Hi. How are you? Say, about the report. What's that you say you're looking at? A man in uniform, in a small boat, crossing the water, about to be shot at. Tell me, is General Washington standing up, or is he... Oh, a German field marshal in the boat. Looks like von Hindenburg. Tell me, isn't your tower quite a long distance from the lake? Oh, you've got your glasses. What's in the glasses? Oh, okay, no offense. Now, tell me more about the tank you claim you saw. Oh, that's what's just about to shoot at von Hindenburg. I see. I didn't get that. Who's driving the tank? General Patton. And now he's putting mud and rocks into the barrel of the gun and tamping him down with a broomstick. I see. Now, look, you just sit tight, and we're gonna have you airlifted out of there. Man, he has really gone ape.
He was right about Robin Hood.
Oh, come on, Fred. Von Hindenburg in a boat, General Patton in a tank, getting ready to shoot at him. Let's get an air medic in a helicopter and...
No wonder Patton carried pistols. Shooting that cannon off is murder.
Stop it, King. I took the liberty of preparing a little snack for you.
Well, that was mighty nice of you.
Well, I plan to look after you and Jethro while you're batching it. By the way, I was just looking at Jethro's induction notice.
Wasn't that nice of the president to write the Jethro special like this? His ma's going to want to frame it.
Yes. When did he have his physical?
His what?
His physical and mental examination.
Oh, well, the only examination I recollect is when he graduated 6th grade. Done real good, too, especially in ciphering. He got clean up to 9 times 7 before he missed.
You mean he's never had an Army examination?
Well, no, he don't go in till Friday.
Oh, well, then there's been some mistake. My nephew was just inducted, and you don't receive greetings from the president until you've had your examination.
Reckon the president could have found out about Jethro's good marks and just figured he was ready.
Okay. Now, you see that stump across the lake down by the water there?
Yes?
Well, that's your target.
My target? I'm not gonna shoot this thing.
Are you fixing to desert again?
No.
Okay, well, you get in there and button up. I'm gonna get in the boat, row across the lake, and see how good you do.
Yeah, you do that. Clear across. Then hide behind some trees.
There it is.
Where?
Right through those trees.
By golly, it is a tank. Come on.
It's von Hindenburg.
Guten Tag, Herr Field Marshal.
All right, come on out.
Kommen Sie aus, schnell. Come and see here, Herr Hindenburg.
I'm not Hindenburg.
Hey, that's the nut was playing Robin Hood.
Really?
And he'll claim that he's president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills.
Don't let this uniform fool you. I'm president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills.
Ja, und ich bin Kaiser Wilhelm. Was gibt es Neues?
I'll show you.
Hey, Charlie, where did you learn to sprechen the Deutsch?
I was parachuted behind the German lines, was captured, and spent 6 months in a prison camp.
I thought you were in the Quartermaster Corps.
I was, but I had to transfer to the paratroops for more pay.
How come?
Well, I borrowed a couple of $100 from this quartermaster sergeant. That Shylock charged me 40% interest compounded semi-daily.
Semi-daily?
Yeah, he had his hooks in me, but good. Hounded me day and night.
See, fellas, I'm not von Hindenburg. In fact, I'm an ex-GI, a veteran.
Really?
I was a sergeant in the Quartermaster Corps.
Hey, I was in the Quartermaster Corps.
Well, I was at Fort MacArthur.
I was at Fort MacArthur, too.
How about that?
Yeah. I borrowed some money from a sergeant called Dracula Drysdale.
You did?
Looked a lot like you. I don't believe I caught your name.
Von Hindenburg. I've been hiding in Argentina for 50 years.
How'd it go, boy?
No good, Uncle Jet. crew deserted me. I'm gonna turn this thing in and get the truck back.
You drop me off at the sheriff?
Oh, sure. Come on, hop in.
I gotta take $2,500.
Well, what for?
Well, $500 is for Mr. Drysdale's bail, and $2,000 is what he owes.
Boy, I ought to shoot that Mr. Drysdale.
If we don't get this money down there, there's a fella named Charlie gonna do it for you. Right on, boy. Really me. Take to that girl's finishing school. I reckon you ain't much interested in school. You'd rather be chasing a raccoon up a tree, wouldn't you? I'm afraid Ellie would, too. Oh, hello, Granny. Did you get her into a dress?
I did. Got her hair up in braids, too.
What kind of favor Ellie Mae's hair hanging down nice and loose and pretty?
Oh, but Ched, she's commencing to school. And a schoolgirl should wear her hair in braids.
How come?
That's so the boy that sits behind her can stick her pigtails in the inkwell. That's how they get acquainted.
Might work all right back in the hills, but here in the city, things is a mite different.
Boys is boys and girls is girls, city or country. I'll bet you Ellie Mae has a boy toting her books home tonight.
I'm afraid not, Granny. You see, in the school where Ellie's going, there ain't no boys there.
What kind of a fool school is that?
I want Miss Drysdale here. It was her idea.
I might have known it. That woman is a troublemaker. She never did cotton to us living here, and she's up to something now. I'm gonna learn her to mind her own business.
Now, hold on there. Hold on. Back up. So Miss Drysdale done Ellie Mae a favor to get her into that school. That's what you call a girls' finishing school.
Without any boys, I don't know how they even get started.
Well, here I am, Paul.
Ellie Mae, you are prettier than sunup.
And you want to waste her on a school full of girls.
Come on in and see yourself in the looking glass.
Paul, do I have to wear a dress?
Ellie Mae, that's the dress that your Aunt Pearl made for you.
Hey, this is all handwork, Ellie. Pearl spent 4 weeks on this.
And 50 cents in cash. Ellie Mae, you just be thankful. Why, there won't be a girl in that exclusive finishing school with a dress like this.
They're like lunch I fixed for you. I even throwed in a soup prize for the teacher. A nice, big, fat, baked old possum.
Swimming in gopher gravy. I tell you, Ellie Mae, you're gonna cut a wide path through that school.
Paul, why can't I wear my regular clothes to school?
Because this is Beverly Hills and girls is just... Jed Clampett speaking. Oh, howdy there, Miss Drysdale. Well, yeah, she's just about ready to go now, but she's wanting to wear her old pants and shirt, and I told her that... It is? Well, that sure is going to pleasure Ellie. Well, thank you, Miss Drysdale. Bye. Miss Drysdale said it'd be just fine for you to wear your old pants and shirt to that exclusive finishing school.
Oh, wait a minute, Chief. Your wife is here. Yes, I know you want to... Hello? Hello, hello?
Hello, hello to you. Any news from Milburn?
Oh, yes, he'll be in Friday.
Oh, good. I rather imagine the Clampetts will have moved away by then.
Moved away? What have you done, Mrs. Drysdale?
Only what you and Milburn have been urging me to do. Be helpful. I recommended a school to Mr. Clampett for his daughter, Ellie Mae.
Oh, well, that was very nice. What school?
One befitting the daughter of a Beverly Hills multimillionaire. Our most exclusive, private, finishing school.
Not the Willows.
Where else? You and Milburn keep reminding me that under her blue jeans and faded shirt, Ellie Mae is as good as anyone.
She is. But those girls at the Willows are insufferable snobs. They'll cut her to ribbons.
Well, don't blame me if she finds herself beyond her social and intellectual depth. I've been saying from the first that the Clampetts didn't belong. I've tried to spare them this humiliation.
You are all heart. They must be on their way to the Willows.
After the reception they get there, I rather imagine they'll be on their way to the hills or the caves or wherever it is they came from.
Mrs. Drysdale,
This may cost me my position here, but there is something I must say. You are a fink.
Cynthia, I still do not approve of your attending school in such casual attire. None of the other girls are wearing slacks and sweatshirts.
Oh, Mama, relax. The other girls look to me to set the pace. Tomorrow, everyone will be wearing mink sweatshirts. And then, of course, I shall switch to chinchilla.
Do you want Mother to go in and help you enroll, dear?
Oh, no, darling. I'm taking the same subjects as last year. Golf, fencing, tennis, riding, history, and water skiing.
Do try to stick with it this time, Cynthia. You're becoming a finishing school dropout.
Who ran that up for you, Sin? My couturier, but of course the idea was mine.
Oh, pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle. Je cherche mademoiselle Clampy.
Oh, well, I'm afraid my French is a little rusty.
I am from Couture, the famous Parisian fashion magazine.
Well, this is my own concept.
Well, we cannot all be creative, n'est-ce pas? Oh, but getting back to Mademoiselle Clempin, we understand she is enrolling here today, and naturally, she will set a new style plan just as she always does.
Clempin?
Oh, yes, they has just moved here from their mountain chateau. They're ghastly rich, swimming in oil. Complete non-conformists, fiercely original. They sometimes weave their own cloth.
Oh, well, that is original.
I think she is arriving.
In that old trunk?
That must be part of the overall motif. She spares no expense to create total effect.
Well, there you are, Ellie. Want us to go in with you to see you get a good desk?
I'll be all right, Pop. I see Miss Jane up yonder by the porch.
I bet you Miss Drysdale sent her over to see Ellie feels at home.
She's just wearing blue jeans and a shirt and a rope for a belt.
How basic, how understated, how zen.
She looks like a hillbilly.
Voila! You have given this new vogue a name. It will sweep Paris like wildfire. I'll get my sketch pad.
Here's your possum, Ellie. And remember, when you give it to the teacher, don't slop no hot gopher gravy on her.
I won't, Granny.
Bye-bye, Ellie.
Bye, Ellie. Bye, Ellie.
Bye.
Learn your cipher, and Ellie, and be a good girl.
Bye.
Cynthia, she's carrying a bucket.
Yes. It's the ultimate simplicity in purses. Next week, Jackie Kennedy will have one.
Here she comes now. I do hope she will remember me. It would be such a thrill.
Well, hi there, Miss Jane. Sure is good to see you here.
She remembers me. Oh, Mademoiselle Clampé. C'est si ravissant. C'est un si grand honneur.
Gosh, you might, I can't figure a word you're saying.
That's what I call total effect. She has even mastered the accent. S'il vous plaît? Vous êtes formidable.
Howdy there, Miss Jane. Ellie Mae, you didn't spend no time at all at school.
Well, I know, Pa. I met just one girl, and then Miss Jane said we'd ought to leave.
Well, I thought it best.
Ellie Mae, you didn't give the teacher her possum.
Well, Miss Jane wouldn't let me.
What?
Oh, well, you see, Granny, there are a dozen teachers, and I was afraid they'd fight over it.
Well, she's right. One possum wouldn't hardly feed no more than 2 people.
That's right. I'll get busy, and tomorrow I'll bake you 6 possums.
Miss Jane said I hadn't ought to go back tomorrow.
Why not?
Well,
You mean Ellie Mae ain't good enough for them other girls?
Oh, it's not that.
Let's hear the truth now.
Well, if you want the truth, they are not good enough for her.
Ellie Mae, don't you listen to that kind of talk. Miss Jane, We don't hold with some folks thinking he's better than others.
Mr. Clampett, not everyone feels that way.
Anyone can get a spiteful spell now and then.
Yeah, now you take Miss Drysdale. For a time there, she was treating us like we was polecats at a picnic. Yesterday, she turned real nice, and she told me about that school for Ellie to go to.
See, this is going to take time, and I must get back to the office now. Don't let Ellie Mae have anything more to do with those girls at the Willows.
I declare, I never thought Miss Jane would put on airs.
Me neither. Ellie Mae, I hope them girls over to the school didn't get the feeling that you held yourself above them.
I hope not too, Pa.
Why don't you invite the whole kit and caboodle of them over here for a possum supper?
Granny, I just met one girl, Cynthia Fenwick.
Well, invite Cynthia and her whole family.
I'll do it, Pa.
Oh, Cynthia, darling.
Hi, Mommy, darling. Homework tonight, forehand bowling.
Cynthia, the most ghastly person has been phoning for you today.
Mommy, I don't even know any ghastly person.
Precisely what I said. I said, see here, Miss Clampett, you ghastly person.
Clampett? Ellie Mae Clampett has been calling me?
Yes. And she had the cheek to invite us to her home. I suspect the kidnap plot. She has the strangest accent.
Mommy, the Clampetts are the avant-garde social leaders of the season.
Are you serious?
Dreadfully serious.
You mean we should accept?
Don't just accept. Call them immediately and beg to be invited.
Beasley, where's the nearest phone? Front seat or back?
Front seat.
I tell you, Granny, I never talked to nobody so pitiful anxious to come for victuals as them Fenwicks.
They must have fell on hard times, Jed.
Must be. You know, it turns out she's a widow woman. Oh, Ellie Mae, Miss Fenwick called back, and she's coming for supper, her and Cynthia.
Oh, good, Pa. Cynthia sure looked like she could use some victuals. Powerful skinny girl.
I told you, Jed, they fell on hard times.
That's a fact. Cynthia was wearing the oldest-looking clothes I ever did see.
She was?
Had on the fur she must have outgrowed 15 years ago. It barely come to her middle. And her pants had been worn till he was plumb shine.
Her ma's in worse shape than she is. That poor old widow ain't got nothing to wear.
You don't say.
Well, it must have shamed her something terrible to have to say it, but right on the telephone, she asked me, did she have to dress for dinner?
Cynthia, I have always tried to indulge your every whim. I've been a very generous and I've been a very understanding mother. But I refuse to go to dinner in blue jeans.
Oh, Mommy. Either we go dressed in the height of fashion or I shall hold my breath until I turn purple. I think how that will go with this orange peignoir.
But dear, they're not showing blue jeans, not in Vogue, not in Harper's, and every couturier we've called has hung up on us. Now, how can they be fashionable?
Because Ellie Mae Clampett has decreed it. Think of it, Mommy. We can wear them before Princess Grace and Jackie Kennedy.
Ooh. Are they going to be at the Clampett's dinner?
No, Mommy. Neither will we unless I can find some blue jeans. I best call Ellie Mae and explain why we're running late.
Why, sure, Cynthia. You and your ma just take your time. That's all right. Bye. Oh, you sure was right about them folks being hard up. They's gonna be late because they can't find clothes to wear.
Ellie Mae, you're thinking about the same thing I am.
Take 'em some of mine.
I'd have done it in a way that don't rob them of their pride. Jethro, I want you to drive Ellie Mae. She's going over to Fenwick's to take him some clothes.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, they can have some of mine, too.
Mine, too?
That's the spirit.
Come on, Jethro. It's awful little.
Yeah, this is it all right, Ellie. It says right on it, Fenwick House. I reckon no one's home.
That's good. We can leave these clothes without shaming them none.
Yeah, I'll set them right inside the door.
Look at Ellie. Just one teensy little room.
A little stick of furniture in it.
Hey, and look. He's trying to grow a little garden right here in this box.
No wonder poor Cynthia's so thin. There ain't enough in there to feed a baby rabbit. It would have broke your heart to see where they live.
Their whole house ain't no bigger than a chicken coop.
They don't even have a place to roost.
Not one stick of furniture.
No victuals except some little old greens that's trying to grow in a box.
Pitiful, just pitiful.
You know, I always wondered why the Lord give us so much, but I reckon this is the reason. He wanted us to share with poor, needy folks like the widow Fenwick and her young'un. Now, Ellie Mae's brought them some clothes. Granny is going to give them some food. What they need now is furnishings for that poor little house of theirs. Now, quick, let's load up the truck before they get here. Granny and Ellie, you get some dishes and some eating tools. Jethro and me, you'll find some furniture. I want you young'uns to learn something now that I hope will abide with you for the rest of your days. The greatest joy of living is a joy that comes from giving.
It worked. They're moving. The Clampetts are actually moving.
Sure you only got room for one bed, Jethro?
Just barely. Reckon it'll be big enough for the both of them?
Well, I hear from Ellie. That Cynthia Fenwick is so skinny you couldn't hit her with a handful of corn.
Oh, Mr. Clampett! I thought I saw you moving things out. I hope you're not angry over Ellie Mae's experience at the Willows, but apparently it did open your eyes.
It sure did. We didn't know there was people like the Fenwicks in Beverly Hills.
The Fenwicks? Did Ellie Mae meet Cynthia Fenwick?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how come we's loading all this stuff up on her.
Yes, bro. No use robbing folks of their pride.
He's right, Jethro. The less said, the better. Just load up and go.
We's hurrying quick as we can.
Let me help.
Yeah, that's mighty neighborly of you. I'll go see how Granny and Ellie's getting along in the kitchen.
Come to the mirror, Mums. Let's see how you look.
I can't look. I just can't.
Don't be silly. Now, here's your bucket.
Bucket?
Well, it's part of the Clampett look. Now, of course, you must picture your hair in braids.
Really?
Jason, come quickly. Bring some cold champagne to pour over Mummy. It doesn't matter. Any vintage year will do.
My doggies, I never seen a woman so overcome with the spirit of giving as Mrs. Drysdale. She's still toting things out.
I wish she'd get the spirit and start giving some of her own things.
If you don't let up soon, I may hint about that. Jed Clampett speaking. Oh, howdy there, Miss Cynthia. Y'all coming over today?
Well, I'm afraid Mummy's not well. Might we have a rain check?
Why, you betcha you can. Just a minute. Granny, is it going to rain tonight?
All the signs point to it.
Granny says yes. You'd best keep your maw inside and in the dry tonight.
Well, I shall. How about tomorrow?
Just a minute. How about tomorrow, Granny?
Fair and sunny.
Granny says tomorrow'll be fine. You all come over and spend the whole day.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Clampett. Thank you and bless you. We are so deeply grateful to you for your kindness and understanding. Well, I'd really just love to say more, but Mummy's fainted and I must attend to her.
Well, yes, ma'am. You do that. Him Fenwicks is so overcome by that little show of kindness of ours that since he just about bawling and the widow fainted dead away.
Jed, you best come see the Mrs. Drysdale. I'm afraid she's going to strain something working the way she is.
Yeah, I'll tend to that, Jethro. You get the truck under cover before it rains.
Ellie, we gotta get upstairs and close them windows.
Whoa, Miss Drysdale, hold on there, hold on. Tomorrow's another day.
You will continue moving tomorrow, you promise?
You spend the whole day just making the Fenwicks happy.
And me. I'll come here early to help.
Well, why don't you just rest up tomorrow? You must be all tuckered out.
No. I shall be here early.
Never did see such a change of heart come over a woman.
Jed!
Oh, Granny, let's have victuals early so we can all get to sleep early. Tomorrow's a big day.
Ain't none of us gonna get to sleep early tonight, Jed Clampett.
Why not?
Miss Drysdale done emptied out all 12 bedrooms.
Granny, how many times have I told you it's against the law to cook moonshine in Beverly Hills?
I ain't cooking moonshine.
Just calling it rheumatism medicine don't make it legal.
It ain't rheumatism medicine neither.
What is it?
I'm brewing up a love conjurer.
Love conjure?
My great-great-granny left me the secret. But it's only to be used when a woman is too old to get a man any other way.
Oh, now, Granny, you're still a fine figure of a woman.
It ain't for me. It's for Ellie Mae. He doesn't wait any longer to get that girl a husband. Cousin Pearl says that folks back home are beginning to talk, asking about your spinster daughter.
Well, that's back in the hills. Out here, girls seem to reach their prime mighty later.
Now, Jed, let's not fool ourselves with city talk. You know and I know that prime is 14. Anything over that, and you're sliding downhill.
Morning, Granny. Want to come for a swim?
Not me, honey. I got a cooking to do.
What's cooking?
I'm steaming some grits.
What's all that for?
Gravy. Now, come on, get going. Hurry up.
What you sniffling about?
Is there any sadder sight than an old maid?
Granny, just for what it's worth, I had another talk with Mr. Drysdale about Ellie meeting a feller.
Well, I'll tell you what it's worth. Nothing.
But this time he promised.
He's been promising ever since we come to Beverly Hills. Well, I'm done waiting on Mr. Do-Nothing Drysdale. He can't even get his own secretary a husband.
Well, let's talk about Ellie Mae.
Too late for that. We've done talked away her golden years. There's only one way to get the poor old thing a husband now. And here it comes, Jed. Stand back, Jed. Perfect bat.
Chief, there's a young man in my office who says he's from the Beverly Escort Service.
Oh, yes. Ellie Mae's date. Bring him in.
Ellie Mae's date? Chief, you have hired a professional escort? A gigolo?
Oh, don't look so shocked. It's only a temporary arrangement to get Jed Clampett off my back.
But a gigolo?
Stop calling him that. He is a professional companion, a bonded employee of a reputable firm, which means he won't be after the Clampett's money.
But, Chief...
Bring him in. Thank you. I'm Melvin Drysdale.
Mr. Drysdale.
This is Miss Hathaway. I presume you know why you're here.
Yes, indeed, and the pleasure's all mine. She's a very attractive young lady. I'm terribly sorry.
And well, you might be.
Just a moment, Miss Hathaway. I need you to witness this agreement with Mr. Peters.
Must I?
You must. As you know, this agreement calls for your exclusive services as an escort to Ellie Mae Clampett. You are to fill her days with fun and her evenings with excitement. Are you a good dancer?
Well, I'm told I am, yes.
Well, suppose we let Miss Hathaway judge.
Must I?
You must.
I'm sorry, I can't dance this way.
Must I?
You must.
You know, you're a marvelous dancer.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's enough. All right, break it up, break it up.
Chief, I would say his dancing is quite adequate.
Yeah, thank you. Now, I assume you know how to play tennis and golf and ride horseback and all that?
Yes, I do.
Perhaps I should take the rest of the day off and to check him out on these...
Now then, you'll proceed to the Clampett home, where you will put Plan A into operation.
Plan A?
Yes, a course of action so brilliantly conceived, so carefully thought out, so absolutely foolproof that the Clampetts will never suspect that you're a paid escort.
Sounds great. I'd like to hear about it.
And you will, as soon as Miss Hathaway comes up with it. Don't hurry. If anything happens to your Plan A, I'll be ready with my Plan B.
What's that?
You're both fired.
This is a fine mess of all the outrageous...
Calmly. Adversity bars its sharpest sting from our impatience.
You're quoting Bishop Horn.
Mm-hmm. He's the subject of my dissertation.
You're studying for a doctorate?
Literature, UCLA.
But this odious occupation.
Well, it pays good. The hours are my own. And I meet the most fascinating people. And I am part of all I have met.
Tennyson.
Would you care to discuss Plan A over a cup of coffee?
Discourse, the sweeter banquet of the mind.
Homer?
I'll need about 5 minutes with Mr. Drysdale. You want to come up and visit with Miss Jane?
No thanks, Uncle Jed. She always looks at me so funny. Kind of like a...
Hungry hound looking in a butcher's window?
Yes, sir, that's it. Why do you reckon she does it?
Probably admires your brain.
Yeah.
Drive around and pick me up.
Yes, sir.
I just got to have a talk with that boy.
You know, a wonderful little spot next door where we can be quite alone.
Solitude cherishes great virtues and destroys little ones.
See?
My doggies, Granny don't have to conjure no fella for her.
Yes?
Hello, Chief. Jane here.
Jane, where? Where are you?
In the coffee shop next door. I'm afraid we still haven't come up with Plan A.
Well, you come up with Plan A, or I'm coming down with Plan B.
Chief, we need time to invent a convincing story. Mr. Peters can't just appear at the Clampetts out of thin air.
Now, listen. I'm paying both of you gold bricks by the hour. Now, you get back up here before... I'm busy.
Sorry I bothered you.
Mr. Clampett, wait! I didn't know it was you.
Well, I sat out here for a spell, but your door was closed and I...
Well, it's open now. Come in, come in.
But if you're busy...
Not at all.
Me and Mr. Drysdale, you're ripping my good coat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, here, take mine.
Oh, I just want to talk to you for a minute about getting a fella for Ellie Mae.
Oh, yes. Well, I've been working on that. In fact, I've got something cooking.
Well, so is Granny, but I'm afraid what she's got cooking is liable to blow her and the windows plumb out of the kitchen. Well, she is brewing up what you call a love conjure.
A love conjure?
Yeah, I don't hold much store with it myself, but Granny thinks that she can conjure up a fella right out of thin air.
Now, wait a minute. Maybe she can.
You believe in such thing?
Well, not as a rule. But there's a certain magic in the air today. Now you go back home and... No, wait, not yet. Hide in the closet.
What? Those are orders.
But I want to go in the closet. What?
Ours not to reason why.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clampett. I was looking for a needle and thread to fix your coat.
Well, never mind about that, but I'd appreciate it if you keep looking for a fella.
I have a feeling that Granny's conjure is going to get action this time.
Oh, it's got action before. I remember one time back home, it brought every fella within 5 miles of running.
Really?
Yep, she set the cabin on fire. Mr. Drysdale, that ain't very funny.
Of course, I'm very sorry. But Ellie Mae will get a fellow. I guarantee it. In writing. Thank you. Bye.
Get it to roaring real good, Jethro. When I throw my love conjure on it, I want that smoke to blow all over town.
Ain't that kind of risky, Granny? Ain't no telling who that smoke will blow on.
That's the chance we gotta take, Jed. You let your daughter get too old for picking and choosing. Her best years is behind her.
Them's her best years. I'd hate to think what's coming up.
Hush up and go split some wood.
Hey, don't split a half a cord.
Then go split the other half.
Uncle Jed.
Do what your granny says, boy.
Yes, sir.
Maybe things is picking up out here in Beverly Hills. Miss Jane got herself a fella.
I ain't conjuring for Miss Jane. I'm conjuring for my old maid granddaughter. I aim to see her married before she's all wasted away.
Ellie could waste away a good bit and still be ahead of Miss Jane.
Jed, I've been working 3 days on this conjure, and I aim to throw it in that fire. Now get dressed in your company clothes while I say my spell.
I think I'll whale you down. I might have to do some firefighting.
Magic powder, magic brew, in the fire and up the flue. Fetch a man and fetch a minister, so poor old Ellie won't be a spinster.
Spinster?
I'm a scientist, not a poet. That always takes a lot out of me.
This and $50 million. You have to hire an escort. A Lola Bridget, I can't expect.
Howdy, young fella.
How do you do, madam? I was drawn to this house by a strange force I couldn't resist.
You don't say. Come in, come in.
You wouldn't by any chance be Ellie Mae?
No, no, no. I'm her granny.
Nice. Very nice.
Ain't science wonderful?
Beg your pardon?
Oh, nothing. Now, before I let you meet my granddaughter, I gotta know all about you.
Well, my name is Dean Peters.
That's enough. Ellie Mae! There's a fella down here to meet you. Leave your dolls and come on down.
Did you say dolls?
Yes, she's a sweet young thing. Right in her prime.
How old is she?
Take a guess.
12, 13, 14?
That's close enough. Your doll and your lollipop, honey. You're old enough for fellas now. This is Dean Peters. He's come to keep company with you.
How do you do, Ellie?
Howdy. Curtsy like I told you. Sweet. You two go on in the parlor, and I'll fetch some lemonade. Skip, honey.
Granny, I feel like a darn fool.
I got you a fella, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
You got to keep him thinking you're marrying age. Now, Skip. Right in her prime. Now go get acquainted. Jen, wait till you see the fella I conjured for Ellie.
You mean at work?
Of course. Look in the parlor.
that little girl?
That's your daughter.
Uh-oh. I was afraid of blowing that smoke all over town.
What you mean?
You done conjured up Miss Jean's fella.
No.
Chief, Mr. Peters is calling from the Clampett house. He seems quite distressed.
If anything's gone wrong, you're going up there and sign a written confession.
I have nothing to confess.
I'll write it, you sign it.
Hello? Mr. Drysdale, you don't need an escort for Ellie Mae. You need a babysitter. All she wants to do is toast marshmallows and skip rope.
I don't care if she wants to play jacks.
Oh, really? Who won?
Now, you listen to me, young fella. I ain't paying you to entertain that girl, and that's what you're going to do if you have to play hide and seek.
Oh, really?
Well, hang up before she finds you.
Granny? You ain't brewing up another batch of that love conjure, are you?
Of course not. I'm working again time to come up with an anecdote. I don't want to steal Miss Jane's fella any more than you do.
Well, couldn't you use some of your letting go powder on him?
I can try, but it would be like hunting bear with a fly swatter. That's the most powerful conjure I ever...
Come on, Dane. We can have more fun out back. Face some critters out there.
Just a minute, young feller.
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
What do you think of my daughter?
Ellie? Oh, she's a wonderful girl. Lots of fun, million laughs.
Not too young, huh?
No, sir. She's right in her prime.
You like her better than Miss Jane?
Who's Miss Jane?
Powder, powder, white as snow, make the conjure spell let go.
What game is that?
That ain't no game.
How you feel about my daughter now?
Well, I told you. She's a wonderful girl. Lots of fun. We're going to play hopscotch now.
Granny, you're right. Like hunting bear with a fly swatter.
Our only hope is brewing in that pot. That is the strongest conjure buster I ever... I'm sorry, Jed. I've reached the outer limits of scientific knowledge.
Granny, I reckon there's some things us humans just ain't meant to know.
It's just as well. It could have had some terrible side effects.
Well, there's only one thing we can do now, and that is find Miss Jane another fella.
Yeah, but where?
Well, got all the wood split.
Jethro!
Howdy, sweetheart. I love you.
What?
Prettier than these flowers and sweeter than this candy. You are my sunshine. Sunshine.
Jethro, what's going on?
I'm courting you. I can't eat or sleep without you.
Oh, no.
That's the truth. Granny won't feed me or make my bed. Sunshine, only sunshine.
What's going on out here?
Jethro's courting me.
What?
I gotta make her forget about losing her fella. You are my sunshine.
What fella?
The one Granny conjured away for Ellie. Except Ellie don't care nothing for him. But he's crazy mad for her because she looks 14. And Granny couldn't bust the conjure, so Uncle Jed says I got to court Miss Jane. You are my sunshine!
Jethro, that's enough.
It's all I know anyway. I only learned how to play about a half hour ago.
Chief, I suggest that I return to the Clampett menage with this young swain and determine the situation firsthand. Hey!
Oh, Miss Jane, did Jethro heal your broke heart?
Well, I done my best, Granny.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to fix everything. Come upstairs and take your clothes off.
All of them?
Not you. Get to the kitchen.
Where's Mr. Peters?
He's in the parlor, dead to the world. Ellie beat him 40 straight games of hopscotch.
Hopscotch?
Go upstairs. Ellie will show you what to do.
Mr. Drysdale, I can't take any more. I got to get out of here. All right, you don't have to pay me. I'll pay you.
Mr. Beers. Oh, so you woke up, did you?
Yes, ma'am. No more hopscotch, please.
Oh, no. Nothing like that. Son, brace yourself for a shock.
Another one?
This is gonna hurt, but then will come something good to make you forget. Come in, Ellie.
That's Ellie?
Yeah, we deceived you. She ain't 14.
Say she ain't.
I don't blame you for being upset. No man wants a woman that far over the hill. But now comes the good part. You wait here. Miss Jane!
I can't possibly.
Yes, you can. All fair in love and war.
I know this must seem ridiculous to you,
Please,
but...
this is the sanest thing that's happened to me all day. Let's get out of here.
Bye. Bye, great. Thank you.
Well, looks like that done the trick, Granny.
Sure, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, but now you ain't got no fella.
Say, that's right. Well, back to the laboratory.
Look here. I brought little Arnie to keep you company while you're sick in bed. Now, my friend the critter doctor over to the zoo. As soon as it closes, he's gonna come by and see what's ailing you. Little Arnie Duke might not feel like getting his face washed right now.
Ellie Mae, you in there?
Quick, Arnie, hide under cover with Duke. Granny don't allow dogs in the bed.
You seen anything of old Duke? He ain't showed up for his victuals.
Well, Granny Duke's kind of ailing. I reckon that's why he didn't show up for his victuals. He's gonna be all right.
What's that moving around in your bed? Mind your tongue, little dog.
Now, don't get riled, Granny. Duke's been feeling poorly, and I didn't want him crawling under the house like he usually does where the critter doctor couldn't get to him.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. Crawling under the house ain't so easy anymore at my age.
But I didn't mean you, Granny. I meant the real critter doctor.
What did you say?
I said I called the real critter doctor, the one over to the zoo that's been to college, you know.
Are you telling me that I ain't fit to doctor a dog?
No, ma'am, Granny.
I've doctored this family man and beast for 50 years. I've tonicked everything from cats to cousins and never a complaint.
What's that hollering about, Granny?
Dad, you gonna paddle this young'un or should I do it?
Oh, what she's done at once paddling.
Old Duke is ailing. I think she called me to doctor him. No, I ain't good enough.
Yeah, Granny, I don't think Duke is ailing that much.
Well, she called that smart alecky college boy critter doctor to come over here.
College boy, huh?
Now, Granny, Dr. Martin ain't no smart alecky college.
Don't back talk me, girl.
Well, if you're gonna get so riled, I'll just call a doctor and tell him not to come.
Hold on, Ellie. Maybe it's a good idea for you to call that critter doctor and tell him to come on over.
What did you say?
Don't play off the handle. Come on outside. I'll explain it to you.
You don't have to explain nothing to me, Jed. The handwriting is wrote on the wall big and plain. Granny, go home. Granny, we don't need you no more. Granny, you is good for nothing. Get out from underfoot.
Now, Granny.
Now, he says. Don't wait, he says. We through with you, he says. All right, Jed. Just send my poor old weary bones back home. Rest in peace in the hills.
Now, you get out of that cedar chest.
You're right, Jed. Old Granny just ain't worth wasting a good cedar chest on. Just stuff me in a box and send me home.
What's that kind of talking? Come on downstairs.
Jed, I ain't even worth a box. Just tie me in some old newspapers with a good stout string.
Carry you down them stairs?
I ain't worth the trouble, Jed. I'll just throw myself out the window. You can gather me up in an old gunny sack. And if that's too much trouble, you can stick me in an envelope and mail me home.
Talk downstairs, Granny.
I guess I ain't even worth the stamps. How about sending me parcel post?
It ain't Duke I want the critter doctor to come see. It's Ellie Mae.
She ailing?
Of course not. But he might be just the beau we've been looking for that girl.
You think so?
I knowed he was a college boy. I'd had him over before this. She's always talking about how nice he is and good with critters.
But suppose he's married already?
We'll find out. Ellie Mae? If he ain't, we'll ask him to stay for supper.
Yeah. Yeah, Pop?
Granny had a good idea. Why don't you call that critter doctor and ask him to bring his wife and stay to supper?
Well, thank you anyway, Granny, but he ain't got no wife.
Oh, now that's too bad.
Well, ask him to stay to supper anyway.
Okay, Pop.
And put on a nice, pretty dress.
What fur?
Cat fur to make kitten breeches. Do as I tell you.
Oh, look! Oh, Duke, swell. Now we don't have to bother Dr. Martin at all.
Luke, you're spoiling Ellie's romance. Now get back up to bed and act sick. Duke had a relapse.
Howdy, Doctor. I seen you coming from a window up yonder.
Ellie Mae, is this your home?
Yes, sir.
The way you dress when you come to the zoo and the way you love animals, I always thought you lived on a ranch.
No, sir. This is all we got.
Ellie Mae, those animals I gave you, the raccoon, the skunk, the possum, you mean to tell me you keep them here?
Yes, sir, but they don't mind it. Please don't take them back.
Oh, I won't. It's just that, well, where's Duke?
Oh, he's in the bedroom right at the top of the stairs. Over there.
A hound dog with his own bedroom. Wow.
Doctor's here now. You ain't gonna be sick no more. Right in here, Doctor.
I hope my animals at the zoo never find out how yours live. Looks like I'm too late.
Duke's just shy. He ain't used to doctors. I'll get you a chair.
If you're a hound dog, you got real problems.
Baby, you're what I need. Say, on a 10% commission, if I sell $30,000 worth of bug spray, you're mine.
What you looking at, Granny?
critter doctor's out there. Dandy-looking young fella. But I sure hope he ain't toting more varmints.
Oh, Ellie. Get a move on, Ellie.
I'll fetch him in and see if his intentions is honorable.
Now, wait a minute, Granny. We don't even know he's here to court Ellie yet. You scare him away before they said howdy.
Critter doctor's here? Yes, Ellie. We know that.
Granny and me will wait in the kitchen. You call us out to meet him after a spell.
Now, Ellie, that's a mighty nice-looking young feller at the door. You be nice to him.
How do you do if I may have a few moments of your time? How do you do if I may have a few hours of your time?
What's that?
Well, I have this wonderful line I'd like to sell you.
Is that what you're toting in your suitcase?
No, that's another line I'd like to sell you.
Get me in order. Jed, them pesky varmints have learned to open the back door.
Simmer down, Granny. I'll help you round him up.
Jed, I've been thinking. We hadn't ought to let that critter doctor court Ellie Mae.
Why not?
'Cause he's the one that give her all these. If he comes courting on her regular, we'll end up with more varmints in the zoo.
Yeah, now, look on the bright side, Granny. She's got everything. Ain't no new ones he can give her.
You are the most complete line of insecticides and pest control products money can buy. Fly spray, mosquito ointment, moth cakes, roach pellets. You name it, I've got it. How about going in there where I can sit down?
Oh, fine dandy. There's a nice soft sofa to sit on.
I like you. You know, I like you a lot. By the way, my name's Jim Gardner.
Mine's Ellie Mae Clampett.
You know, if I make enough sales today, and something tells me I will, I might just ask you out to dinner. Yes, sirree. Hey! Hey, beautiful! Where are you? Hey, come on in. Hey, gorgeous!
Stop your yelling. I'm coming.
Are you the housekeeper here?
Well, I try to be. But it ain't easy with all them varmints underfoot.
Varmints?
Yeah, them pesky little critters. You know the ones I mean. Why, out in my kitchen right now, they were crawling all over my sink.
Madam, you are just the person I want to talk to. Now then, let's start with roaches. You know how to take care of those little critters?
No, and I don't want to learn. I got enough to take care of now.
Look, let me show you the easy, pleasant way to take care of them. No muss, no fuss, no bother. Just place one of these roach pellets in a dark corner and where they can get at it, and presto.
I ain't got none now, and that's the way it's going to be.
All right, all right. How about ants? Do you have any ants?
Not in the house, I ain't.
You'd be surprised how many beautiful Beverly Hills mansions have ants.
I don't care what these squirrely Beverly Hills folks have in their house. Me and ants don't get along.
And what you want is ant syrup.
Ant syrup?
Sure, they love it. They'll come from everywhere to get it.
Do you know what kind of a doctor you are? You're a dad-blame bug doctor. That's what you are.
Exactly. You show me a bug, and I'll show you what to do for it.
Luke's fine. Just give him a little outdoor exercise.
Now, don't you forget Grandpa's expecting you for supper.
I'll be back, I promise. I'm very anxious to meet both of them.
There. Now, isn't that a pleasant, fragrant odor? Why, it's a regular perfume.
Not bad. What's it for?
Flies.
Flies?
Flies and mosquitoes.
I swat them pesky things.
Use this on them, and you'll never swat another one.
Close up your bag of bug riddles and get out of my house.
Let me show you what I have for spiders.
Out before I throw you out.
Quieten down, Granny. I thought you was going to wait till Ellie called you.
He called me, this dad-blame bug doctor. Thought I told you to get out of the house.
Now, hold on, Doctor. You just happened to catch Granny in a cantankerous mood. I'll quiet her down. Why don't you sit down? Make yourself to home. We'll have supper in a bit.
He ain't staying for supper.
Yes, he is.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is.
I ain't feed him. If he's hungry, let him eat his fancy bug riddles.
Honey, if you weren't such a doll, I'd clear out of this bug house.
Now, Granny, you listen to me.
Now, you listen to me. It's bad enough that I have to be sewing clothes for a monkey. or washing bed linen after a hound dog. But I'll be swished if I'm going around spraying perfume on flies and mosquitoes and giving parties for moths.
Well, nobody wants you to.
He does, that crazy bug doctor. Tried to sell me some moth cakes.
Moth cakes?
And if that ain't enough, he wants me to give a bath to fleas.
Granny.
It's true. Tried to sell me flea soap, flea shampoo, and flea dusting powder.
Look how frisky old Duke is now. The doctor sure fixed him up.
See, Granny, he's a critter doctor.
He's a bug doctor. Don't you have nothing more to do with him, Ellie?
But I like him, and he's gonna be here for supper.
I ain't cooking for him.
Well, why not?
Granny just having one of her spiteful spells. Now, you get on out to the kitchen, and I'll talk to you directly. No, not that way. I don't want you tying into that young fella again. Go around the back way.
Beverly Hills bug doctor. First thing you know, he'll be having Ellie leading a boll weevil on a leash. Monkey off round. I think Washington.
Let's leave Duke here with Skipper.
Okay. Come on, Skipper. Duke's feeling better now. You two can play cowboys again.
I'll be doggone. They do play cowboy. It's coming on for supper time. Don't you want to get started fixing the victuals?
Who for?
For everybody.
Who's everybody?
Well, you, Jethro, Ellie, me.
Who else?
Well, you know, the company.
And who might that be?
That nice-looking young fella Ellie Mae's got in there. You know who I mean.
No. Tell me.
The critter doctor.
He's our bug doctor.
All right, have it your way. But bug doctors got to eat too, you know.
Not my cooking, they don't.
Well, you don't have to do no cooking. I'll just fetch some cold hog jowls out of the icebox, and we can open up a jar of pickled turnips.
No, you don't. Once he gets a taste of my victuals, we'll never get shit of him.
And then he can have a taste of my victuals. I reckon I can still cook up a passable pot of grits.
Over my burning body.
Granny, you're just being a little unreasonable.
No, I ain't. I don't want Ellie Mae marrying up with that Beverly Hills bug nut. Instead of grandchildren, you're liable to wind up burping a beetle.
Hey, mister, if you want to wrestle with Ellie Mae, you ought to get a better hold on her than that.
Hey, you want to wrestle?
Huh? Later. Hey, Ellie Mae, the critter doctor's out in the hall. And he brung you a present from the zoo, too.
You her brother?
Well, shucks, no.
Her boyfriend, huh?
Well, I'm a boy, and we's friends. But mostly we's cousins.
Oh, that's great. My name's Jim Gallo.
How do you spell that?
Hope your granny won't mind. He's still a little wild.
Oh, I can tame him.
I'm sure you can, but what about Granny?
Well, ain't nobody can tame her.
I mean, do you think she'll mind having another critter around?
Well, let's go ask her. Extra nice.
I'll be as charming as my years will allow. Oh, Ellie Mae, let's put him back in here.
In you go.
In you go.
Now, Granny, we have invited that critter bug doctor to supper, and it ain't very nice to send him over.
Huh? Granny, the doctor's done give me a brand new critter.
What is it?
Well, look.
Oh, it's a giant, hairy caterpillar with green eyes and big teeth.
Looks like a Bob Ged young'un to me.
It is, ain't it cute?
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Martin.
Oh, yes, ma'am. This here's the critter doctor. This is my granny, and this is my pal.
You're the critter doctor?
That's right.
Well, who's that bug-happy goomer in the parlor?
Goomer?
Well, that's a young fella you said to be nice to.
Let's have a word with him.
Ellie Mae, get that varmint out of my kitchen.
Yes, ma'am, Granny.
Did I understand Ellie Mae to call you Granny?
What about it?
Was such an odd name to call one's sister.
Sister.
You're certainly too young to be her mother. But you must be related, because you have all of Ellie Mae's wonderful features. Her beauty of face, figure, her irresistible charm, her sweetness, and her loveliness.
Well, I don't know whether it's your talk or this stove, but I'm commencing to warm up to you.
What'd you say his name was again, Jethro?
It's Jim Gar.
Oh, mighty pleased to meet you.
Same here. Actually, my name's Jim Gar.
How you spell that?
I just won't take no for an answer. You're staying to supper.
How can I refuse such a gracious invitation from such a lovely lady?
You're kind of slighting this one.
A home-cooked meal would be a real treat for me. I usually eat in a restaurant.
Well, you're in for a feast tonight. We'll start off with some crawdad tails, deep-fried in possum fat, crispy and crunchy, and then some owl soup.
Owl soup?
Barn owl. And then the special dish, stuffed gopher.
You mean, gopher?
That's only the beginning.
Granny, that little bobcat's just getting along dandy with all my other critters. Can he stay?
Well, I reckon so.
That young fella wants to know, can he take you out for supper?
That's a wonderful idea.
Hold on, Doc. You're my date.
Have a good time, but don't stay out too late.
And behave yourself. Don't park a deck.
We won't. Speak for yourself.
Uncle Jed, I'm gonna have me a car just like that.
How are you fixing to pay for it?
Easy. You know that fella Jim Gar? He told me how. He said all I got to do is sell $30,000 worth of these bug vittles.
Good luck, boy. Best get to it.
Yes, sir. See you later.
Thing like that could only happen in America.
Jethro! Did you go back to bed again? Now you get down here. It's put near daybreak.
I'm up, Granny.
You've been up twice before. Now, if you ain't dressed and down here in 5 minutes, you go without breakfast.
Morning, Uncle Jed. Boy, I sure did sleep up appetite.
Hold on, boy. Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Jed. Is these yours?
Them sugar pine shavings.
They sure do got more names for cereals.
Sugar pine shavings ain't one of them. Cornflakes is over there. Have them for breakfast.
Yes, sir. Them's my favorite.
Ellie Mae, ain't you up yet?
Yes, Granny, I'm up. It ain't even daylight yet.
The lazy days of lolling around in bed until sunup is over. We own a store now, and we have to get into town to mind it.
Well, Granny, I don't hardly think the stores in Beverly Hills open this early. Why, especially at one of them fancy dress stores like the House of Renee.
When the Clampetts own the store, it's going to open at a decent hour, at the crack of dawn.
Listen, Granny.
You see, we'll change it from the House of Renee to the House of Granny.
That'll make her real proud.
Yeah, we'll surprise her with it.
Uncle Jed, after we get the sign put up, what's there going to be left for us to do around the women's dress store?
Oh, we'll see. Generally speaking, there's a lot of chores connected with running a business. Laying in supplies, counting money, waiting on folks.
Miss Jane said advertising is real important now.
You mean like putting up signs?
Yes, sir. I could make a sign, carry it all over Beverly Hills saying, "Follow me to Granny's store."
The House of Granny.
Oh, yes, sir.
Jed Clampett. You making a slingshot at your age?
This ain't no slingshot, Granny.
What is it then?
Why?
'Cause I asked, that's why. Now you get over here and eat your cereal.
But, Granny, them sugar pine shavings, I ain't gonna eat them.
Well, then why did you fix yourself such a big helping?
Them's the shavings from Uncle Jed's whittling.
What's he whittling?
Why?
'Cause I want to know, that's a why. And one more sassy answer out of you and I'm gonna box your jaws for you.
Uncle Jed, don't you sit there grinning. Help me.
Boy, I didn't mean to sass you, Granny. What I'm whittling is a letter.
Why?
That's it. That's what I've been trying to say. Why?
You're raising your voice to me again, boy.
Well, sure, getting Ellie Mae dressed and fed and all. Jethro and me would take a quick run downtown, open up the store, lay a fire, and sweep out and things like that.
Yeah, I'll get some glue and stick Granny upside the wall.
What did you say?
The boy ain't really awake yet, Granny. Come on.
I'll wake him with a hickory stick. That's what I'll do. That's the trouble with the young'uns today. They ain't got took to the woodshed enough. Learn some respect for their elders. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Truest words ever spoken.
Looks to me like there ain't a soul stirring, Uncle Jed.
Yeah, I reckon we're getting a jump on these other storekeepers. Age to start early.
But if there's nobody up, who's gonna buy from us?
Well, it'll take a little while for folks to find out. Maybe we can have a early bird sale. Nickel or a dime off on every dress bought before 6 o'clock in the morning.
That'll bring them in.
Yeah, that's a good lesson for you, Jethro. For all young'uns. If you're willing to get up a little earlier, work a little harder, think a little smarter than the next fella, folks will take notice of you.
Yes, sir.
I reckon we can leave the house and just knock off the Renee.
Yes, sir.
Jethro, did we get keys to our store?
Not that I know of. Want me to bust it open?
Oh, I reckon I can pick this lock.
Uncle Jed, remember what you told me about getting up early and working harder and smarter so those folks will take notice?
Yeah?
Well, you sure enough was right. Somebody done took notice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just turn around and look behind you.
Morning, Mr. Policeman.
Morning.
I was telling the boy here on the way over, you get an early enough start and you can get the jump on these Beverly Hills storekeepers.
Yes, sir, that's what he said.
Yeah, well, you got the jump on him, all right.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, both of you turn around, put your hands up against that door, and lean forward.
Well, we don't want to bust it down. Jethro thought of that, but I told him I could pick the lock.
Just put your hands against the door like I told you.
Hey, the phone's ringing in there. I better get back to work on this lock.
That's a burglar alarm.
You mean somebody's trying to rob this store?
Yeah, wise guy.
Quick, Jethro, bust down the door or let's stop him.
Don't move. Joe!
Look, Mr. Policeman, I better explain something to you. We own this store.
Oh, sure you do. Sure you do. Yeah. Joe, bring bracelets for these two.
Bracelets?
No, thank you, Mr. Policeman. We sell dresses, but we don't wear jewelry.
Hurry up, Joe.
Ellie Mae! Any sign of Jethro?
Not yet, Granny.
Probably lollygagging someplace. I should have hickory-sticked that boy this morning. He was asking for it, and I should have given it to him.
Granny, maybe there's so many customers down to the store that Pa couldn't spare Jethro to come and get us.
Can't sell anything until we bring these things in.
Granny, you ain't fixing to sell my dress ain't pearl made for me.
No, Ellie Mae. We's gonna put this outside the store to draw the women in.
Oh, hanging on one of them there dummies.
Yeah. Where is that boy? Hello? Jethro? Where are you lollygagging at? Well, you just get yourself out of that jail. Jail?
Uncle Jed and me got arrested by the police.
Is both of you in jail? Who's minding the store?
Well, nobody, Granny. Gee whiz, I just told you we got arrested. A policeman pulled a gun on us and brought us here to jail. A heck fire!
Jethro, give me that phone before I get my arm tore off.
Arm tore off? Ellie, fetch our guns. The police are torturing your paw. Hold on, Jed. We'll be right down to help you.
No, Granny. Now listen careful, because we's only allowed to make one telephone call. Get a hold of Mr. Drysdale and tell him we's in jail. You'll know what to do. Now hurry, Granny.
Ellie, run next door and tell Mr. Drysdale to get your paw out of jail. Quick.
Well, it's quicker to phone, Granny.
No. Your paw says we's only allowed one telephone call and they've done made it. Now scoot.
Drysdale? Mr. Drysdale? Drysdale? Mr. Drysdale, it's me, Ellie Mae. The police arrested Paul. They got him and Jethro in jail. Quick, Mr. Drysdale. Granny says hurry.
You tell Granny I'll be right over.
What was it again they arrested you for, Mr. Drysdale?
Indecent exposure, creating a public disturbance, drunken disorderly, resisting arrest.
You sure got us beat by a country mile. Best we could do was breaking and entering.
Now, we don't rightly deserve that. We didn't break nothing, and we didn't get a chance to enter.
Hello, mornings for Miss Hathaway to be out bird watching.
Doing what?
Bird watching.
Why, is they up to something?
We may as well relax till she gets here.
You say you can identify these characters?
Indeed I can. They are three of Beverly Hills' most distinguished citizens, a bank president and two multi-millionaires. Release them immediately.
Here, blow this up. Then I want to see you walk that crack in the floor.
Wow, see.
And what have you got in that canteen?
Celery juice.
Oh, boy. You winos will make it out of anything.
Miss Hathaway, call my lawyer.
How's that look to you, Miss Storekeeper?
Dandy, Jed. I always did want to run a store.
Yeah, I know, Granny.
Gives you a chance to meet folks, chew the fat with them, and get acquainted.
Yeah, ain't nobody got a better chance to talk to people than a storekeeper. Listen, it's a barber.
Oh, Luke Short had the right idea. He had a barber chair right in his store.
Granny, if you want a barber chair in your store, we'll put one in for you.
Hey, Granny, I got the barrel of pickles, the barrel of crackers, the potbelly stove, the checkerboard, and all the other stuff you wanted on the truck yonder.
Damn, Jethro. There ain't nothing like a free dip into the pickle barrel and a friendly game of checkers beside the stove to get a customer to feeling good. Come on inside and help me decide where to put everything.
Jethro, we might be putting in a barber chair, too.
Well, hot diggity dog. We sure gonna give this store some class.
Granny, I put my extra fancy dress on the dummy. You want me to tote it out front like you said?
No, Ellie. It's so doggone pretty, I'm scared somebody might walk off with it.
Get through. Run out and find some stovepipe.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Granny, seeing as how this is the only chimney, I reckon we best put the stove here. We can run a pipe over and join it into the floor right about there.
All right, Ned. She don't fill this dress out proper. Tote her out to the back room and you put it on.
Yes, Granny.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. What have we here?
Well, that's a dress.
We are selling this?
Oh, no, this ain't for sale.
Oh, thank goodness.
I feel the same way.
Wait, if it ain't Morris, the door opener.
Maurice. Bonjour, madame.
Well, Mr. Bonjour, why weren't you here to open the door this morning?
But the House of Ronnie never opens its doors before 11.
The House of Granny does.
The House of Granny? Where is Madame Renee?
I heard tell that she took off for France. We's running the store now.
Quel dommage. Does this mean that my employment is terminated?
No, it means you're fired.
Fired?
If you had been on the job at a decent hour this morning, Jed and Jethro wouldn't have got arrested. Besides, we don't need no door opener.
Now, hold on. Granny, we ain't looking to throw nobody out of work.
Work? You call what he does work? Bowing and scraping and opening up that flimsy glass door.
Well, maybe we can find him something more useful to do. He might like that himself.
How are you at cutting hair?
Qu'est-ce que c'est hard?
What'd he say, Jed?
I ain't sure, but I don't think he does it.
Well, how are you on checkers?
Qu'est-ce que c'est checkers?
Well, maybe he's got some ideas of his own. Man always does better when he's doing work of his own choosing. Anything you'd special like to do?
Oh, monsieur, if you are serious, I will run home and get my sketches and designs. You see, all my life I have wanted to be a couturier.
There you are, Granny, you see? Man wants to couture.
What's that?
Well, let him show us. All right, young fella, go right ahead and commence coutouring.
Oh, monsieur, merci beaucoup.
Granny, if that's couturing, he's going back to opening doors.
Look, Chief, they've changed it from the house of Renee to the house of Granny.
So what? We'll just get fancier letters made and spell it Granee, the house of Grenade. Women will eat it up.
But we haven't seen what they've done to the interior.
Well, there it is. Look for yourself. Absolutely unchanged. Still the most beautiful dress shop in Beverly Hills.
But there's still another problem. Without the couturier to design dresses, what will they sell?
Bubble gum if it makes them happy.
Chief, they'll lose money.
Great. The bigger the loss, the bigger the tax write-off. Now get rid of that long face. When we see the Clampetts, we're going to be smiling.
Chief, you're not smiling.
I'll be all right. I have to keep reminding myself that only two things are important. A, keep the Clampetts happy. B, it's all the tax write-off.
Granny! Mr. Clampett, anyone here? Oh.
Well, our first customers.
Didn't hear you come in.
Jed, we gotta bell that front door.
Yeah, I'll attend to that first thing.
Well, how do you like the store since we friendlied it up?
Well, it's a tax write-off. I mean,
It's a friendly store.
Exactly. Are you happy?
You betcha.
Granny is happy as a gopher in soft dirt.
Granny, are these the dresses you're going to sell?
Now, let's not talk business right off. Set a spell. Grab yourself a pickle or a fistful of crackers while we visit.
No, listen, I'm not hungry. We just finished lunch.
Well, then hop into the barber chair. I'll heat up the curling iron and give you a Marcel while we talk.
No, as a matter of fact, I have to be going.
Well, it won't take a minute to heat up the curling iron. You'd look mighty pretty with a Marcel whilst we visit.
Well, as a matter of fact, with Mr. Drysdale here, I have to get back and watch The Office.
Oh, so he can stay and visit.
Exactly. Don't say anything.
No, I won't say anything.
It's a beauty, all right.
Something Granny always wanted, a store with a barber chair.
Jed, fetch over the checkerboard. You and Mr. Drysdale can have 8 or 10 good hot games while I cut his hair.
What? Now, wait a minute.
It'll give the three of us a good chance to visit.
Ain't nothing like a barber chair for jawing over the news. I'll get the boat.
Granny, there's nothing I'd rather do than play checkers, get my hair cut, and discuss the news, but Miss Hathaway and I can't be gone too long at the same time, so I'll just rush back and let her stay, eh?
Now, she done went back so you could stay.
No.
Wonderful girl. Now, stay back. I'm gonna throw in a free shave.
Well, no, Mr. Drysdale is attending the opening of a new store. It's the House of Grenade. Yes, I'll tell him when he gets back.
He's back. And it's the House of Horrors.
What happened?
You ran out on me, that's what happened. Now get over there and do your duty.
Duty?
You heard me.
You eat those pickles. You munch those crackers. You play those checkers. And you chew that fat. And do it now.
Jed, we ain't doing no business.
Have a little patience, Granny. I got a feeling it's going to pick up right away.
Madame,
Sir?
it is I, Maurice.
Oh, I didn't recognize you out of uniform. You're no longer the doorman at the house of Renee?
No, madame. I am now the couturier for the house of Granny.
Where is that?
Right here.
Oh, and Madame Renee?
Return to Paris.
Oh, dear. And I need a complete wardrobe for a world cruise, and quickly.
Madame, I have designed just such a wardrobe. And it could only be worn by a woman of your beauty, charm, and bearing.
You have some sketches to show me?
In my car, madame. If you will step inside and have some champagne, I shall return immediately.
Jed! Ellie! We got one! We got a customer! What's your name, honey? Oh, it don't make no difference anyway. This here is my son-in-law, Jed Clampett.
Howdy, ma'am.
This is his daughter, Ellie. Ain't that a pretty dress? That's the kind of work we turn out here. Not talk business yet. Here, drop your meat hook in here and grab hold of a pickle.
Oh, no, please.
What's the matter? Ain't your gloves clean? Well, I'll do it for you. Ooh-wee. I got you a big one. Well, here you are, honey. Go on over here and grab a fistful of crackers.
Oh, no, really? Oh, thank heaven, you're back. Oh.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cela?
Is this your mister? Nice looking husband you got here.
Excusez-moi, avec moi, madame.
That was Morris, the door opener.
Oh, he's taking up couture.
What's that?
Well, he was doing a little of it there as he led her away.
And blame it, I still ain't got nobody to chew the fat with.
Greetings, all.
Mrs. Jane, here, have a pickle, have some crackers, play some checkers, sit in the barber chair.
This quitclaim deed is ready for your signature, Mr. Clampett. Mighty generous thing you're doing, giving the shop away scot-free.
Oh, I reckon everybody's gonna be happier. Granny says Beverly Hills ain't no place to run a store. Folks just ain't the visiting kind.
By the way, where is Granny? I saw her on the truck when you drove up.
Oh, Jethro took her over by the store. She forgot something.
Thanks for keeping my curling iron, Morris. Dandy sign.
You have made me very happy, madame. And please express my gratitude to Mr. Clampett.
I'll do it. I'm going to see him right now.
Miss Hathaway, would you come in and witness the signing away of the house of Granny?
With pleasure.
Fine dog is Mr. Drysdale. You gotta admit, Granny did give a mighty stylish hairdo.